Oh, it's streaming.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
hello. Welcome to another week of Doctors and Dungeon Masters. I'm Kelly Breivik, the Dungeon Master and a PhD student at UWM.
Hi, my name is Corey Hearn. I'm a PhD student here at UWM in the English Plan C portion of all this. That was a botched sentence. Anyways, I am playing Franz the Rogue.
I'm M.
All right. What's up? I'm Laylee Baziller. I'm a PhD student in the anthropology department here at UWM, and I am playing Ash.
Nice. Can I be annoying? Can you pull the mic closer to you over there?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nope. Is this better?
More closer, because that was nothing. Like, edge of the table close.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
Hello.
we're gonna do a little bit of things. Hold
Sorry.
up.
There we go.
Half
Like this
second.
is where you like it?
Solid.
Okay.
Okay.
In that case, I'm gonna just scooch.
All right, let's get a recap.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Some shit happened.
Yeah, I think it was but I think it was overall a pretty slow episode, if I do say so myself.
So,
Not much happened.
No. No. We
It was-
didn't do a whole lot.
It was an A to B
you know.
episode. It was a journey episode.
Totes.
so
It's episode 6 of Pokemon.
let's
Totes.
see.
I
Going
mean, I
to
guess we
Cerulean
should
City.
also say, like, Ryan's not here because he's not going to be here.
Yeah, we should probably
Well, I was
address
So-
gonna...
That's
I
going
was
to be a
gonna-
narrative. That'll probably
Okay.
be solved narratively.
Yep.
So,
sad.
I'll give a quick recap. So, we should really have a group name, like the
You could
Clean Canteens. You know?
Absolutely not.
that. Well, there we go. It's now decided.
I'm just kidding. I'm just reading
We are
his
the
water
Clean
bottle.
Canteens.
What's up, Play Scholar?
That's actually me.
Hello.
I'm just
Oh.
saying hi.
Play Scholar.
Scholar.
Play Scholar, what do you think our name should be?
What do I think our name should be?
I'm asking Play Scholar.
That's, well, yeah.
Well, you know, there's kind of a still a distance between online persona and personhood.
Okay, so we don't need a name. But
We could get a name if we
The
really want one, but
party.
if we're gonna...
after the party did this,
The pretentious party.
we did an infiltration operation to get rid of all these lizards, and we freed them. That led to some conflict with the Dragonborn, but the party managed to return back to home base without Mags. They formulated a plan to protect the village from the oncoming tank assault, which never came. And after Mags returned, but no longer Mags, but a different.
Ooh, Ryan lied. Anyway.
He's coming.
No, he's just
Okay.
texting us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Not
Go
as
ahead.
exciting.
After Mags returned, no longer Mags, but M, the group set up fortifications and awaited. Mags did a little, or M, even I can't remember, keep heads or tails. M went scouting ahead, there was a forest fire.
Only you.
Okay, I'm really, really sorry, but I think I'm getting an apartment right now because someone just texted me and I'm very excited.
Nice.
Continue on with
Congratulations, that's great.
Continue on with
Getting an apartment was like a highlight of my last year, so.
It has been such a long time coming. Such a long time coming. And I think we're going to move in with a side-by-side duplex with another gamer.
Ooh, nice.
And it's going to be glorious. Anyway, sorry.
And so, yeah, hey Robo Mofo.
Hello.
Pretty sure that's Ryan.
And so, but anyway, so we decided that with the fire and some very, I don't want to call it luck, but some good faith from Franz's character, we managed to use watermen to to stem the flow of the forest fire and use it as an opportunity, because we thought that the fire maybe they would have thought would deter us from attacking, so we struck and we were managed to commandeer some tanks and take out the captain and kill everybody.
Well, and
basically.
someone became you became
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
became
Captain.
the
That
captain.
happened.
Yeah,
I'm the captain now.
but
Which
there's
was
no one left who
entertaining.
follows the captain. So, but
Commanding my men to just accept their fate.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
literally
God.
happened.
Oh,
We decimated
Oh,
all
man.
of those poor people.
I didn't like it. Just to note.
I think my favorite was when they just got moonbeam. You're like, well, it was a pleasure working with you.
And that's
yeah.
the gist of where we ended off. Did anything else happen after the combat? Or did we combat end, we were done?
I think we hard ended.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
after the combat.
Yeah.
And pretty much, like you alluded, you pretty much found a note detailing.
Right.
At like pretty much just explaining.
We were gonna talk to you about the things that we were gonna do, and then I
didn't follow
completely forgot. I am so sorry.
I actually did
It's
send
okay.
you a message.
You probably did, and I forgot.
That's okay.
Good.
the way that
at
I
least we
thought-
all forgot.
Yeah. The way that I figured it would go is you found the remaining 5 pan pipes if you wanted to like take them.
Yeah,
Each
they're
of
worth
you-
a ton of money.
Yeah. Enough gold for like 50 gold pieces for each of you.
Well, I am
amongst everyone. I know, because you didn't spend like that.
We need a place
blood
to
money.
sell them.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, there are big cities.
I'll just
Yeah.
put 50G pan pipe in my thing. One 50G pan pipe.
Oh wait. Are the pan pipes worth 50 Gs, or did we find 50 Gs
No,
each?
you found 50 Gs each and 5.
And then 5 pan pipes. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my question.
Oh, so okay. So add
Yeah.
50G to my inventory,
Yeah.
and then there's pan pipes. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm poor.
We'll just sell them and we'll just
Is
pull them
there-
and then break them. That
Do
way.
we have a group inventory?
We can.
You can, but I don't think we
That's
did.
something to suggest in character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like for note taking.
Oh.
Do we have as players, or are we all writing down 5 pan pipes?
I think
That
what
is. That is
I usually
literally
just
what
let Franz take everything.
generally, and we already have the 3 loots that we originally taken, so we have
Okay.
5 pan pipes
Mhm.
total.
No, we have
No.
8.
8.
I don't know
And
why I
there's
said
3 of
5.
us,
Yes.
so that can be 3, and I'll take 2.
Cool.
So I'll put that down in my inventory.
Okay, so we're just
So
gonna
instead
split
of-
it up as we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Alright,
I
that's
did
totally
search the captain's quarters and courts. What did I find? I did it.
I was
That
gonna say
wall
you-
combat was still going on.
Yeah. I'm going to say you found the letter explaining exact details on how to manage the area and how to commandeer the area. It's like a step-by-step, first do this, then do that, and like if that doesn't work, then do this. If that doesn't work, do that. And then what you found was like total annihilation, which is what he was willing to do, was not on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So although Answith is pretty much a really bad person, you don't think that she would have sanctioned like just total demolition
Okay.
based on the notes.
Mm.
But then again,
Would I assume anything?
you
Sorry.
you would probably, I'll text you.
Okay.
Um,
Hey, I have my laptop today.
yeah.
Faster typing, y'all.
All right, 1 second.
Just typing on my phone takes 1,000 years.
Okay. So yeah, that's what you gather from the letter, and I'm going to say you find just an additional 30 GP of stuff.
So I should just put down 30 GP, or
Yeah.
okay.
I have
Thank you for doing that.
so much gold right now.
I do not.
What?
You want to share?
No.
I'm like 236. What do you got?
I
This
have
is out of character. I have
80.
430 gold.
Oh my
I
god.
have 80.
Nice. Okay. So at the end of it all, you go back at Bog's request to his home, and at which point he decides that
Was
this,
his home burned down?
It's all burned. Like
Okay.
like
I just wanted to make
when I
sure.
say home, like I mean that term loosely.
Okay.
Was his home in
His
King's Landing?
field. What? If that's Game of Thrones, I
Yep.
don't. Yeah, I don't watch.
Still haven't seen season
Don't.
8.
Don't. Just don't.
Shh.
At which
Just
point,
stop it.
he decides that it is time to rebuild. It's time for him to focus his energies back with his people.
Yeah.
And he is, welcomed very openly, and you kind of feel like, this is his place, and he's going to thrive here, especially now that there are more people like him, and that more people being his mom. But
Happy Mother's Day.
yes. So you decide to head up north towards the capital, since that's where. Go ahead.
What about the Dragonborn?
That's part of our journey to go to
Yeah.
the capital is to find smugglers to get them to
Yes.
the lace.
I'm just making sure
Okay.
that's still, like, they're still chilling in the swamp.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, if
being,
you
like-
check, yeah. Is there anything you would check on before you headed north?
Yeah,
To
I wanted to
Okay.
make. I just wanted to kind of like more talk with the community, like embracing the Dragonborn.
the okay.
Because like part of the reason they were in the swamp is because like of all the political stuff that was happening. So now that's neutralized, and
Mm-hmm.
they've helped, essentially helped the town. Have they essentially earned like their place?
Okay. Do a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I help with that?
Oh yes, please do help me.
Okay, so tell me. Okay, so what did you roll?
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh man.
I rolled a 19, which would give me significant.
Yeah. So you. How is Franz fucking this up? What are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
so
'cause they
26.
yeah. 'Cause,
Okay,
like,
so I imagine
for
what.
context, before you start, like they were pretty okay with the Dragonborn. Maybe they were a little hesitant, but what do you say to somehow make it worse?
I'm imagining. I'm not like. I don't think I'm like damaging the perception of them. I just can't think of words as I'm talking. I'm in like just a fit of just like, I kind of the Dragonborn. I think they should stay. Like I'm questioning like how I'm forming my own sentences.
Okay. And what does Ash do to salvage this situation?
Well, he will watch you stammer for a significant amount of time.
So, like, they did good, and when you do good, you should be awarded? Yeah,
Oh,
right? I'm, like, looking for you, like, right? Am I right? Am I, like...
They will, at minimum, be more hands to help you rebuild this town.
Scaly hands.
Yes.
That is also true.
Observation.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with two magical beings already there, and Warren definitely saw the value in having the Dragonborns help out.
Mhm.
So he waits for Franz to fuck up, and then like talks over Franz afterwards, to help convince the already convinced thing, just so
So-
he could take the credit for it.
Warren and Ash have this, like, yeah, I see what you did, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, moment.
Yeah.
Like,
he just exists to talk over people younger than him, more or less.
He is quintessentially the get off my lawn.
Yes.
I put my hands on Warren's shoulders.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Warren, make sure you train my boy. And I start patting Ace's shoulder.
Oh.
I'd like to talk to, for now, or
Okay. Bahamut?
or the Bahamut, and just talk about what they want. Do they want to stay here? Do they want to try to go to greener pastures?
So for now it's like, well, I mean, this spot seems pretty good. I mean, people are nice. There's no chains. There's no nothing. I think I'm okay here. And Bahamut is a little bit more reserved. She doesn't seem to know exactly what she wants, but so long as she's able to continue practicing this newfound magic, you think that, and practice it, unperturbed, she'll be fine.
All right. Well, keep that in mind as we're heading up to the capital.
And
Are
then,
everyone coming with us to the capital, but they're sticking here, right?
Mhm.
That's the okay.
yeah.
So I wanted to double check.
Yep. And then, thank you, Ryan, for reminding me. He casts plant growth, just like ad nauseum, until everything is just back. But it will take some time.
Make sure to get some sleep to get those spell slots back.
Yep. So some of those mold earths and plant growths and everything. I'm not gonna speak for Ryan's character, Boggs, but if Ryan, if you're still tuned in, let us know like what monument Boggs would make to commemorate this event with his mold earth somewhere.
I feel like maybe it would also just be a giant plant in the shape of a thing, like no mold earth, like giant plant in the shape of a thing.
That would be dope.
Like or just like a hedge.
Yeah.
It should be like an edged like tapestry of like the course of the battle.
Nice.
That would be epic.
I like it.
Or it would just be like a horror tapestry of all of the dead people because he was so happy about all that.
Yeah.
It just ends like this brilliant
Jesus.
display of like the moonbeam just decimating while Ace does like this whirlwind attack.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I feel like he kind of went and worked his hands and said, yeah,
I love it.
I appreciate.
Perfect. Franz, roll a perception check as you leave.
Nope, that's not bad. That's going to be a 17.
Okay.
I have a plus 9 to
Oh
perception.
Jesus. Yeah, you notice that as you're leaving, Ace is just tearing up a little as you go.
But like,
And his little little dragon lip is quivering.
I'm back, free boy.
Yo. So yeah. Oh, was that me?
Yeah, that wasn't you.
So are we staying for a couple of days?
So.
Well,
go
I have
ahead.
one more thing to
Yeah.
do. If we're staying for a couple of days, if we're leaving like the next day, then I won't do this.
Well, it's up to the party. Would you stay for a few days here?
Or are we just leaving? It's alright if we're just leaving.
I think we're just. I think we just had a nice fitting conclusion.
Alright. Alright. Well, I didn't know if it occurred on the day that we got back or like.
I mean,
The
I imagine
next
you would have
day.
like slept, rested up, and then headed out the next day.
Well, then during the night, I'll go pester that child
Oh
who
yeah.
doesn't know who I am.
Okay.
Oh yeah, forget
Do you
you're doing
just,
a
like-
British accent with this
Yeah.
character.
Did you knock on Jack's door?
Now I'll try to find the child's window and knock on that just quietly.
That's not creepy at all.
Not at all. God, I need to pull up what. I mean, they don't recognize you, so like you see their.
I'll flash like the face
Okay.
of Megs.
At that point, he pops the window out and looks over at you, and you hear in your head, "What's up?"
Just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be heading out. I wanted to know if there was anything that you needed.
Can I have money?
Why do you need money?
Buy toys and more cards.
Duh.
Duh.
And as you hesitate, let me just see what he rolls for. Okay, so he does a pretty convincing job at like crocodile tears and like quivering his lip. And you hear in your head, "My dad doesn't buy me anything."
Oh my god.
Are we with you? Or is it
No.
just you? Well, you did come into some cash recently.
Let's turn it back.
This is quite a bit of money. Keep it hidden. Your dad probably wouldn't be happy if he found you with this. He'd probably think you took it from him. And I'll give him 5 gold pieces.
Nice.
And I'll say, I'll be around again maybe in a long time. But just remember what we talked about and keeping things well hidden, but being willing to embrace who we are.
He gives you a hug through the window. Like he kind of like it's just awkwardly. He ends up like hugging your forehead just based on like the yeah. And he holds up his finger and to motion you to wait. And he runs to his like little deck of cards and he pulls one out and he hands it to you. And he goes, "A present."
Alright, thank you.
Mm.
Now put it in my bag.
No, it's not a full deck.
Well,
So, is
Yeah.
I didn't say what kind of deck
Two
of cards it
spades.
is.
That's fair.
card from a deck of cards.
Well, just I'm not sure if I'm describing it right, but it's from his like little magic deck because like he
Oh.
can't. It's like how he casts spells.
Okay.
Mm.
So
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now be safe. I'll be
Aw.
seeing you.
nice.
And then
Not gonna lie, I'm glad that you brought him up again because he was like low key like one of my favorite like NPCs that hasn't like been a part of the party yet.
Yeah.
Do you know about this one?
I don't.
Do you want to
It's
describe?
just,
Or
I mean, like, I do. My player does not.
oh, okay, then no.
My player. My character does not.
Gotcha. So yeah. You head out, and originally, you know, the capital should have only been like less than a week if you were, you know, going like casually, like super less than a week, like really like 2 or 3 days worth of travel is how it should have been if you're walking casually.
But it's 3 weeks?
Yeah, because the entire region is crawling with traveling Inquisitioners. And you expected trouble from the south because, you know, there was the free Dragonborn and there was the forest fire and there's all this stuff going on. Like, I mean, like, Dragonborns leave and then a couple days later there's forest fire. They probably thought that could have been the Dragonborns at work. So it makes sense for them to come up and investigate. But what you didn't expect was just, like I don't want to say, like, armies worth, but, like, it's a lot. It's not more. It's more than the 5 or 6 that you see here and there. It's like full-on sweeps coming from the north, and they're looking for something. There's definitely a purpose for these sweeps, and you don't know whether it was a result of the alleged second meteor that hit down south in the Pajania, which is the city-state in the south where Var is the capital.
Or again, where was the first one? The first
in Taizhou.
Yeah, like it was like smack in the middle of the 3 city-states, but Taizhou was like most affected by it.
Okay.
Like so it was right in the middle, and then like the mountains and the activity and the seismic shit, like that fucked up Taizhou.
It shifted, like Taizhou's like split into two halves basically from what used to be like a unified country, geographically speaking.
And this one hit the south. But from what you saw, like the topography didn't change so much around here. But still, when a second meteor hits and you felt your magic just open up, you can imagine that maybe there's something else going on besides that. But you don't know whether it's an extra thing happening in the capital or the meteor. But all you know is like it takes you 3 weeks just to avoid any sort of trouble going on.
Right.
During that 3 weeks, I'd like to take a look at this magic card, as well as ask Ash about the hilt of the Darkblade I have and any leads he would have on.
Is that the one that the dagger?
I just have hilt of Darkblade written here. I remember I got it when we were down in the depths. I got it off of
Yeah, I thought that went to Corey.
Yeah, that went to me. Because that's my healing dagger.
No, this was a hilt of a sword. That I found.
Yeah.
Like it was just the
I'm
hilt.
Trying. Okay, because I had the
found
hilt
it like in one of like the ruined rooms, like that was off to the side.
Oh no, I actually do have. Yeah, it's because I have it in my notes. It was a hilt. So you picked up the chainmail and the hilt.
Yeah.
And you gave me the hilt, and you wore the chainmail.
Okay. Well, it was a breastplate, but yes.
Or whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah, because the hilt, it was the hilt of a dagger, and pretty much the way that works. And speaking of alignment, because it was hard for me to translate this to our talk because I don't use alignments, but more or less it only reacts when you stab someone of like evil nature.
Oh, okay.
So you stab them, you do your damage, and then
So they have to be evil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evil.
I also have this thing called Old Piece of Something, like a chest. I don't know what that is. It seemed important when I picked it up. But
Ryan, if you're listening,
I'll investigate that card.
Did you give us your orb?
Oh no! I know that he mentioned giving up the hat to someone who needed it, but I think that would probably go to one of the Dragonborn more than any of you.
Did you ask for it?
I'm asking right now.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that like Boggs deserves his stuff because he's doing stuff.
I'm just saying.
We'll get more stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm just saying for Ash.
He's not
Even
dead.
at the party.
Oh,
Not
whatever.
dead yet.
The likelihood that Ash finds some shit and just never tells you is very high. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about Ash getting his fair share.
Yep. Shit, I was in the middle of... the card. So right away, and I'm upset that you didn't see this earlier because you happened to just do poor perception checks whenever you had the option to. But hold on, I used to see them. Sorry.
Franz also likes the name Ghost Rider, and he's now adopting it.
Nice. But as soon as you look at this card, you realize that it's like the inscription is like from the text that you got from under the earth. So you don't know how he.
I do know comprehend languages, so.
Oh no! What I'm saying is you don't know how he knows, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you wanted to use comprehend languages, you could see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So using that spell slot, you would realize that it's how he casts Unseen Servant.
Okay.
So,
So, do I get the idea that it's like permanent? Like I can cast it like maybe once a day with this card, or is it like one time I cast it and then it's done?
Roll a perception check. Or an Arcana check, sorry. What am I talking about?
Oh, that's pretty
Nice.
good. 19.
Nice. It looks very similar to the scrolls that Knock gave some of you.
So
Or
like
it's a
the
one-a-day
comprehend
thing.
language scroll that I
Yeah.
have?
Oh yeah, I forgot you had
Okay,
that. Yeah.
so I should
it's,
put down on my level 1 spells Unseen Servant once per day.
Mhm.
Very good.
So basically, it's just like a spell scroll, except for in the form of a card.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's how I got away with the verbal component for him as a mute character. Is he like touches the card that has a verbal.
I mean, also there are lots of different kinds of magic all throughout fantasy. So.
Yep. But yeah, so that's what you learned from the card. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't get to ask that question. So, at where your characters are right now, you're about a 2-hour trek from the city. It's nightfall. But before we get to what you do now, tell me how you avoided the Inquisition in the past 3 weeks, and what did the party learn about you?
Ooh. It's a
Good question.
That's a really good question. So I feel like with 3 weeks in what should have been a 3-day trek, it's like a lot of times that we almost or definitely ran into the Inquisition.
Oh, for sure.
Which means that you guys probably would have seen Ash take out his Inquisition robes from his backpack and use them as what he tells you is a disguise.
Where did you get those?
Can I make an insight check?
Yes, you can.
Where did you get those robes?
They're a disguise, all right.
That's a nat 1 for the people at home.
Well,
There's dice prison if you need to.
Oh, it's fine. I just rotate them.
occasionally you run into Inquisition that don't need to be on the earth anymore. But you also happen not to kill them with blood all over their robes.
Am I able to tell if she's being fully truthful?
You can do an insight check.
That's a 22.
He did kill the person using these robes without spilling their blood on the robes. That part is true.
Poison.
Although anytime you do an insight on Ash,
no.
there will always be it's not what they're saying is true, but that is definitely not the whole truth.
That's the thing with an insight check. It's not like I get to know the truth, right?
Right.
It's do I perceive you as being like lying or telling the truth,
Right.
or telling a half truth. So all you need to do is say it's a half truth, and it's like okay, that's what the insight check is for.
Right.
All right. Well. And I pull out my Inquisition robes. So,
Uh-huh.
we've all got our secrets.
And I'm just like disguise selfing
All right.
into specifically the man that killed me.
Nice. I love it.
Were any of these people sent by Answith? Or would they have if we had ever talked?
Yeah.
If we had ever gotten close enough to talk to them.
I imagine you had to interact with them at some times.
Right.
Because there was just too many to go, and they're stopping everyone they come across, and it's always those uncomfortable, on the edge of your seat, whether or not they're going to. But,
right.
I mean, you all can pass as non-magic users so long as you don't use your magic around them. Excuse me. So
this is the first time as a player I'm interacting with the Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have anything that tells them if there are any active spells? Like how do they tell if you're magical?
So the Inquisition, as far as you have seen, don't have anything magic related. So any
Oh,
sort
great.
of tech, and they don't have any technology to detect spells.
Perfect. Okay.
However, if they have any sort of inkling, and they kind of get it through talking and
Right.
demanding and questioning over and over again, and if they so much as like think that you might be magical, Franz could tell you how it goes.
Yeah, I probably would have relayed to you my experience with Inquisition and how I was not magical at all before interacting with them. Ironically, of course.
Do you want to tell the story? So like,
Yeah. So what happened was we were in Dorking.
Yep.
Inquisition comes through. We were trying to like basically bullshit our way out of the situation, but based on really nothing, they thought I was the magical one. They locked me up. We thought we were going to do this routine thing where we're going to go and be interrogated. They'll find out I'm not magical, whatever. But then they just stabbed me right into the heart. And there came my little birdie friend, my little owl.
And that's how we became level 3.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was a great
Yeah.
level up. What would I share about with Franz? I think Franz, the more we're going closer to the capital, would probably talk more about his days in the Five Fingers, the Thieves Guild that he's associated with in the capital. Especially because you didn't really know that the plan was to go up to my old guild and hopefully charter them essentially to smuggle out the Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm. Which we're not smuggling them out anymore, right?
Based on their desires, no.
Yeah, based on their desires, but given that this Inquisition presence is spiking, we might want to figure out something. Maybe smuggle ourselves.
It is a possibility. Nothing's there's any plot point I give you does not have to be followed. So.
I've lived outside of Taizhou. It is a lot nicer, but something keeps bringing me back here. I'm not entirely sure. I know who. I'm not entirely sure why.
But yeah, and back to your question on whether or not they were sent by Answith, I roll investigation check.
No. Mm-mm.
Can I aid her?
Yeah.
You can roll with advantage.
Great. No. Still a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Was a 4. Now it's a 6. Got better.
Roll a d12. So now we're gonna do an overall because you interact with them probably several times at this point.
6.
Okay, that's a mixed success.
6.
You can't say for sure, but also knowing that Answith is using magical things, you question at what price would calling the Inquisition, serve her. So.
That's about how pissed she is.
Yeah. So you're not 100% sure, but you also, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Does the party learn anything else about you? Or
Ash would get super dodgy about any experience before the last 3 years. Where he has been in school / apprenticing to be a bard. Have any of you spent any major time in major cities?
Yeah, that's all I've ever spent.
Okay. So, I mean, in this country, you might have run into him before, or heard his name before.
Can I make a history check?
Yeah.
I'll do the same.
So it's Ash Fletcher, which was...
I'm rolling like shit today.
Wow.
I'd say 5.
History?
Like, nah, man, you're too old. Too old.
That would be a 10.
Wasn't all that new stuff.
Let Eric know what his character would know with the 10, possibly, about Ash.
That he's known to be a relatively good music player, and plays in some of the higher establishments, likely in the larger cities most of the time.
What do I know that? That's not like a urchin.
I mean, you would have seen, posters
I guess.
or something
I
like
guess.
that. Flyers, advertisements, stuff like that.
What you learn
Chatter
about
on the street.
me is that I'm from. Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
Oh no, it's all good.
You learn that I'm from Taizhou. I was raised there by a relatively working class poor family. Got mixed up with bad people. And then the meteor hit and everything changed.
Everything did change.
But I would probably recount, not being from Taizhou, I know my way around a little bit of the area.
I'd probably be like Franz would be super anxious whenever we came across the Inquisition. Not just because he was killed by them.
That's a good enough reason.
That's a very good reason. But yeah, for Franz, like the Inquisition reminds him a lot of the militancy of the orphanage that he was a part of and the way that the church organized that. You wouldn't know this, but Franz, well, you would see it. He has a big scar on his hand from when Yield Fantasy Numb stabbed him when he was trying to steal more food.
Ah, okay. Super fun.
Yeah.
No.
With 3 weeks, you guys might pick up on the fact that, like, even though he is disheveled most of the time, he is definitely not from the slums. You'll probably be able to pick up that he is definitely from, like, much higher society.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you would know about M is, despite her relatively calm disposition, she tends to wake up a lot in the night, and very rarely do you wake up and she's not already awake, or go to sleep and she's not still up. Not that, she just doesn't seem to sleep. It's more of like, not like a I'm always keeping watch, but more of like she doesn't seem to sleep very well. If people are keeping watch at night, you tend to notice her waking up and shuffling.
I imagine we have definitely been keeping watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you tend to notice over a 3-week period of nature tempting, you'd notice that she tends to wake up a lot in the night.
Franz is an extremely heavy sleeper. He does not wake up for anything. So like I has to like peck at him
Nice.
to wake him up.
I like it. Is Ash like the type of person who like uses his fork like on the opposite side and scoops stuff on instead of like the shovel technique? Because I feel like that's like fancy to overhand your fork.
I feel like he would do the thing where he like picks up the fork as if he's gonna do that and then has to like switch like particularly in the morning for breakfast he's like shit like like it's little stuff like that.
Okay.
Like particularly when he's not thinking about it.
Okay, so he's like unlearning the fancy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, or he's obviously pretending not to be fancy. You can take it either way. But yeah.
Both of you roll a perception check. Just
Both?
in general,
Or
yeah.
all?
Just you two.
Much better. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
Roll 19 plus some stuff.
Okay, so both of you during the night,
25.
during different nights while keeping watch, you maybe look over at M, and in her sleep she has changeling shifted her form into
Bird?
a extremely pale, like translucent skin, no nose, white curly frizzled hair, which maybe you gather is the way she would look if she wasn't changing her form all the time. But it kind of when you see it, it's only there for a couple minutes and then.
It's gonna be spooky at first.
Ash would literally never bring it up unless you do.
Cool.
It looked like the television maybe lost electricity. I don't know.
No, I think that it just went to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Because we don't have it. It usually doesn't
This has
happen.
never happened before.
Yeah.
But it also hadn't happened that it logged her out
Oh yeah.
until today. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
Well,
just make
they
sure
could have
the
done an
stream is still-
update, so
you
tech-
have it on.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it on.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons why I have it up over here on the side.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
I would do this immediately the morning after.
Yeah.
Just gonna be upfront, very blunt. You know my style. What happened last night? The hair and the face and that.
Ash is just gonna look at you like, really, man?
Well, this would have been different nights, so
Yeah.
you could roll to see who saw it first. You may not have seen it.
I can just flip a coin. Heads or tails.
Are you catch and turnover or
Yeah,
catch
catch and turn.
Then heads.
You got it.
So you've already experienced it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you did you see it? I don't know, you just your hair got all weird, translucent face. It was kind of like a celestial bird kind of thing. Told you were a bird.
No.
Franz is convinced that M's true form is a bird. Just dead convinced.
Well,
Ash just has this face of like, what? A bird? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Not definitely.
Like he's like a changeling Genku.
Yeah.
Because he was talking to a Kenku. He's like, I'm just he was listening to their conversation. And the only thing I heard is M saying to the Kenku, I'm just like you.
no, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I don't have full control over my magic while I'm sleeping. I'm unsure.
That is likely what it is.
Yeah, well, just so you know, when you're sleeping, yeah, you're doing some shifting.
Good to know.
So now that we're back to, it's a 2-hour trek. It's nightfall. It's been night for a little while. Now it's not dead of night, but it's definitely well past twilight, well past dinner time. So do you decide you're going to make those last 2 hours to the city, or are you going to set up camp here for today?
Let's stay in an tonight. I'd like that.
Alright.
Though there's one issue that we would have solved in the 3 weeks is that M has no papers.
Oh, I can do something about that. What do I gotta roll for? As soon as you said, so if you were to be like, guys, I have no papers, out of my bag, just without saying anything, comes ink, paper, and what name do you want?
Nice.
Emily.
I love it.
That's it.
Emily.
All right. So what would this be even? I mean, I have proficiency with all this stuff. So do I
I'm
just
gonna
roll
say,
a d20 with proficiency?
I
or-
would say a deception check, because I feel like that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, forgery gets kind of strange because it's a dexterity, is
I
it
know, that's
intelligence,
why.
is it charisma?
Oh.
But I'm gonna say deception in the sense that you redo it until you think you've go ahead.
Okay.
With proficiency.
With advantage because I'm helping maybe, talking about my history and.
I feel like I have background.
I
in this.
have
I could help.
You could.
okay. I also have
It's
my
up to
old
you. It's up
Megs-
to you.
Megs also has Megs has her old identity from Valencia, which is Yo,
Yeah.
Yo identity. So if that helps with anything.
I mean, you would just the first one's kind of shit,
Alright.
so you just redo it. So if you
It
want to
wasn't
redo
super shit. It was still with deception. Oh fuck! I forgot how much I have in deception. Never mind. That was a 21.
Oh yes.
Really? You have plus 15?
I do.
Wow.
Because of things.
Yo.
I have +8 and I thought I was good at deception.
I have a magic item. I'll just
Yeah.
say that. It's yeah. I forgot. I was like, oh fuck! I rolled a 6. It's gonna be
Just-
terrible. And then,
Oh,
nope,
so let me
lies.
clarify the use of that.
Oh right, no,
It's
that's only
when-
in That's only in
It's when
particular
it happens.
circumstances.
Yeah. So you have to subtract that, but if in the moment.
So it does.
you-
So it doesn't give to deception consistently.
Right. It's in the moment
I have
if
to
you
change
are
that then.
pretending to be something that you're not or feigning a figure of authority. That's when it works. So if they were to insight check that thing and you're like, no, I am vouching for them. I know this is who it is. What's wrong with you? That would be when it gets added.
Never. Then that would be a 16. But I'm happy to.
Yeah, I mean, you make a pretty good forged paper. So in most circumstances, it would be totally fine.
Alright, I'll put
There are some circumstances that it might not be fine. So it's up to you whether or not you want to use up more paper and materials. but I'm going to say like you probably don't have that many, like on your person.
Yep.
So I'm going to say like you have.
This would be good
you
enough to
have
get into the
3.
city, but if we need to go do anything,
Right.
Ash would lay all that out. Basically, what he would say is this will be good enough to get you into the city. If we have to go to the city consulate or do anything more in depth, likelihood they will.
I know a guy. If we want to get some official looking stuff, I know a guy.
All right.
Well, I'll keep this for now, and if it gets us into the city, that's great. And maybe we can get some more official looking things from Franz's friend.
Okay. So as you're walking, you're going along the pathway. Can you make a perception check, everyone?
A natural 20.
That would be a 17.
15.
Okay. Let me just see. Oof, yeah, okay. There's a, you're walking and you kind of get a feeling that you're being followed. And at first you're looking around for, like, human-sized things, because that seems to be, like, the typical threat around here. But then, you lower your gaze more towards, like, knee-height off into the distance at the edge of the woods. And you see just, like, this, like, cute little dog just trotting along, following you, scoping you out.
We go pet that dog.
Sure. Do an animal handling check.
Ooh boy, finally.
Because it's looking a little frightened.
That's gonna be a 13.
Come
here, boy. It's okay, boy. How you doing, boy?
It doesn't run away, but it definitely, like, crouches. The ears are back a little.
I'm doing this.
Okay, roll with advantage now that you're, like, kind of elaborating.
That's gonna be a 15.
Okay. You get the dog to walk over to you. It's about, knee-high, brown. It does have, like, a bandana around him, so you think that it might be, like, someone's pet that might have got lost or something. But it doesn't look like a mangy dog. It's definitely something that's been kept.
Oh, good boy, good boy. Are you lost, boy?
It
Or he's
doesn't
following on purpose. I said, or he's following on purpose.
Or want some food? Maybe he's hungry. You hungry, boy? Hungry?
He rolls over on his back and is, like, begging for a belly rub.
Okay, I just go to town on this belly rub.
The leg kicks and everything.
Oh yeah.
It starts, like, circling you excitedly, tail wagging. It's not quite like barking, but it's like making like a little excited whining
and I'm
sounds.
like jumping and like playing with them. It's really cute.
Nice. Yeah, so what do you do now that this dog is, like, following you? Like, now it's, like, at your heels. Do you keep going?
Oh, the dog's at my heel. That's a well-trained dog. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Gotta find this doggy's owner.
Ash is just like, not gonna trust that dog.
That's
No
fair
trusting of that dog.
I mean, you could roll an insight check on the dog if you want to insight the dog.
I would do that.
Sure.
I trust animals more than I trust humans.
No, that's not
20.
so much.
Okay, I'll text you.
Like, I know as a player, this could be like a druid. This could be a fucked up thing. But as Franz, it's a
I got a
puppy.
17.
I'll text you the same thing.
This dog is not just some mutt. It's.
Yeah,
I think-
exactly. That's what I was fucking saying.
It's,
Well, he's a cool boy.
Yeah, but he is
And when you
definitely
say, like,
following us for someone.
When you say good boy, rolls over on his back again.
Just like, well, if this dog means us no harm, then I doubt the person who's looking for us means us any harm. Cause you're a good boy.
I have known some bad people with some good dogs.
Well, then they.
Can I look around and just see, is there anyone else watching us interact with this dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
And 11.
Is there anyone on the road right now? Like, for 2 hours outside the capital, I imagine.
There's actually
Traffic.
nothing.
Ooh,
You
okay.
are the only people on this
Are we
road.
2 hours away, or are we into our journey, like, closer?
And actually, you two, it's been a while since you've been in the capital, like 2 months about at this point, and you longer because I think.
It's been a long time.
But 2 months. I forget. Did you come from the capital?
We hadn't really decided. We could say it came from the capital.
Okay.
But it also could have been a city farther away from Mom.
I'm going to say that you've been in the capital recently enough. Maybe not in the past 6 weeks, we'll
Right.
say, but you know that there was a lot of change happening in the capital to make things more regimented, to make things more, not so much what's the word, totalitarian, whatever.
So
it
like
is.
imagining like police state.
Yeah, like, so it's kind of going to that, but not like death police state, but very much
Like children of men police state. Checkpoints,
yeah, and
cameras.
yeah, like lots of vigilance, lots of crackdown on crime. So it's probably a change because of something related to that.
All right.
But you are the only ones on the road right now, and I would say you were 2 hours at the point that I was talking at the beginning from the city, just along this pathway. You're about an hour away from the city now, so about 3 miles walk.
So I'm imagining that Sova and the pup are now playing with each other, and it's super cute.
That is fucking adorable. Absolutely.
The more adorable it gets, the less Ash trusts it.
I'm just like, come on,
Nice.
it's a puppy. When has a puppy ever done any harm?
So many times.
Well,
It's not the
it's
puppy.
not their fault.
No.
What do you want to do with this good little boy?
Send him back to wherever he came from.
I don't think he's gonna leave us. I don't want him to get hurt. Could be bandits.
Yeah. Who he belongs to.
Well, do I have like make an inside check on the dog to see like any sense of like the kind of like pedigree they come from? Does this look like a dog that it does live on the streets or grows up in like a non-pampered environment? Does it seem like a
Okay.
military war dog kind of situation, police dog,
Okay.
that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you could do that.
Insight
Nice.
is going to be 21.
It's like a show dog almost.
Like, just look at his coat.
Yeah.
He's not only just a good boy, he's a gorgeous boy. He's handsome.
Oh yeah. Like there's a couple of twigs in his coat because he's been out for a little
Yeah.
while,
And
but
who do you think is paying for, or grooming him?
Someone with a lot of money, and who, if they wanted to hurt us at this point, they would have. Clearly, this is a scout dog. They are surveying us. Maybe it's a trusting exercise. Maybe they're saying, do these group of people like animals? Will they treat my animal with respect? In which case, I will fulfill that to the T. I pet the boy again.
I love it.
Ash just kind of turns and keeps walking. He's just like, this is a losing argument. He's not even gonna attempt any further.
Okay. So my question is, do you allow the dog to follow until you get to the gate of the
I
capital?
mean, yeah, if Franz is going to, then...
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Franz is
I'm not
Unless
gonna,
tunnel
um,
vision.
I'm not gonna hurt the dog,
Okay.
even if I don't like that it's following us.
Okay. So you get to the gates of the capital. But what's strange is usually it's open and guarded, or there's not so much
It's
open anyone could walk
closed.
in, but it's just shops closed. And you don't
It's the
see.
middle of the night?
Hmm?
Is it the middle of the night or is it daytime?
It's middle of the night.
Perhaps we should come back during the day?
Seems like they've imposed a curfew, which is really strange.
Yeah, there's lots of people coming and going at all times. I mean, it's gonna...
Not as strange anymore. I was here a few weeks ago, and
Well then.
they were already cracking down then.
Would I get a sense
Mhm.
when last time I was here that they were like, I knew they were kind of increasing,
Is
like,
this... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
like increasing the patrol, but like the fact that the gates closed, would that seem unusual to me?
It's definitely unusual, but it also has been 2 months since you've been here, and you know
Yeah.
that it was going towards this.
Yeah.
So.
Is this like in Lord of the Rings where like the town is like closed off and the guy opens the little thing and closes it? And
I
then-
want you to imagine that, but like an iron fence as opposed to wood.
So, but I get the impression that there's a way to communicate with someone on the other side of the gate.
Possibly. I mean, you could try, but I'm not guaranteeing that there is a slide thing. It's just imagine that it looks like you don't even see like watchtowers is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna play my panpipe a little bit and see if anyone notices on the other side.
Ooh.
Or people who want to perceive things, do a perception check.
12.
That is
16.
10.
You two don't notice anything. You hear some, just like mild, or no, you wouldn't hear because you got the panpipe playing, but you see,
I only do a couple of notes and then I pause and I'm like,
okay.
like I'm looking to get a response,
Okay.
essentially.
You hear some shuffling, but not like a verbal response.
Mm-hmm. So in that case, I'm gonna say, "Oi, why's the door closed?"
No response.
Well,
So you're not opening the door for anybody. It's gonna be open in the morning.
Come back in the morning,
Well, at least we know it'll be open in the morning.
cool.
Alright, you got it, boss.
and you hear it like from the opposite side. Like they're kind of like it. They probably get this a lot since it's a recent thing, and they're just hoping that people go away without having to like interact with them.
You should just advice for the future, like have a sign maybe. Just you would avoid so much of this like tedium right here.
And do a perception check.
Is there a sign?
13.
You hear them go, "Oh man, that's such a good idea. We should have gotten the sign going." So like you hear little whispers of like, "Shit, why didn't we think of that?"
So, Ash is just shaking his head. He's like, "This is why I didn't become a guard." Starts walking
Fucking
away.
amateur hour. Like I knew the sheriff is a fucking dunce, but not this bad.
You're really gonna have us just sleep out in these cold woods this evening?
Yeah, we have a lady out here.
Yep.
Well,
And after if you hang around for a minute, you see just a very shittily made sign slip under the door, closed until morning.
how are you defining morning? Like dawn, or like what kind of morning?
What?
Sun up.
Sun up.
What time?
Well, we could just stay here
Is
and I
it
could just
right
play
now?
my panpipes all night.
Cool. And I bring out my lute.
And I think I feel like singing.
It's a jam
And
session.
I'll sing very
Oh, man.
loudly and sometimes well, but then sometimes
gotta
to
roll
annoy
it.
them.
Gotta roll it.
Alright.
You know what? I want you all to do like a coordination roll. So you're going to roll and try and get numbers as close to each other as possible, and you could add whatever proficiency to get it. Like
Okay, so
So
I
we
got.
can add or not add the proficiency?
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
got a 23. Sorry in advance.
Performance?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But you could like so your straight roll. What's it on the dice?
16.
Okay, let's hold it off for a second.
So
Okay.
I have a 16
On the dice.
on the on 11 plus 5 for my charisma mod. So
Okay.
16 because I'm not proficient.
So
in
on the
performance.
dice, 11, but with my bonus, it's a plus to be 13. But I am playing my lute, so I do get advantage.
Oh yeah, because they can hear you,
Roll
Yep.
it again.
Well, that is an 18.
and you could subtract. Like it's meant
Yeah.
to like
So I'll drop my 2 down to a 16.
nice. So you all like are just like perfect. Like you never had a jam sesh before, but somehow.
And it also means that when we want to annoy them, we're all perfectly off key as well.
Yes. I love it.
So after we finish the first song, I say, now that was maybe pretty. Maybe you enjoyed that, but we can play some not pretty music here as well.
I know
Here,
a really
dun,
great
dun.
sea shanty.
And then you hear from the other side, yeah, and we could arrest you for disturbing the peace. So
We're not in the city, actually.
yes, but you can be heard in the city.
Jurisdiction extends past the city wall.
Yeah, unfortunately, laws work that way.
I know this
That's-
because I've gotten in
Do
trouble doing
you
this exact
now?
thing before.
Now I will say I would really like a nice warm bed tonight, and normally I'd be accustomed to just paying the innkeeper for those services, but perhaps if I were to lose a little bit more of my money on my way to the inn, that might allow me to get the nice bed I desire.
Ballsy.
So you say that, and if anyone is paying attention to Ash at all, he like pats down his pockets and goes, "Shit." And that's you don't know why, but that is what happens.
Yeah, no, you don't get a response. They go, sun up.
Is there like a name tag on the dog?
No. It's just a little bandana.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We got a rich.
I want to say the dog howled along with you at some point.
Oh yeah, for
Of
sure.
course.
Look, well, we got
Yeah.
a rich person's dog that they probably are looking for.
I'm sure they'll give you plenty of gold in the morning.
I don't know. This person could have a lot of influence and could have your captain's ass or your ass if their dog is left to stay out all night.
Nope, well, I'll have no ass left if I let anyone in before sun up.
It's funny because you're being quite the ass right now.
Well, yeah. Looks like
Sun up,
sun up.
sun up,
Okay.
sun
Are we
up.
going to sleep here at the gate, or are we going to?
Yeah, let's sleep right at the gate.
Let's not sleep at. Do these doors open in or out? That is my question. Because
You can do
you were just a
perception
real
check.
ass to these guards.
15.
They open out.
Okay, I rolled straight 18, so it's like a 26 or something. But
Yeah. They open out.
yeah, we should not sleep directly in front of the doors.
It's a good call, good call, good call, good, 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 good,
Will you
good,
still
good.
be there in the morning, or is it going to change shifts?
They're not answering that.
Well,
I hope you have a nice evening, and if you have families, I hope that this is not intimidation.
Yeah.
oh my god. Like, literally, as soon as you say, I hope that your family's, Ash's jaw just goes.
I hope you have a good morning with them. I understand that you're just doing your jobs, even if it inconveniences me. And I will leave and go out, maybe, like not too far into the forest for us to take a rest.
Okay. Is anyone going to stand watch?
Yes.
I'll stand watch as well.
I'm sleeping on the dog.
I figured.
Okay.
I figure we'll like shift.
We're having a
shifts.
cuddle set.
Can you all
Are the trees in the forest climbable?
yes. So what
I
I'm
would
going
like
to
do my
ask
watch
y'all.
in a tree.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually gonna say I'm gonna sleep in a tree if they're already.
Yep, I'm going to draw the environment, and then I want you to, as explicitly as possible, show me where you are, where your stuff is, where the dog is, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to say this is a little clearing. The road's 50 feet
Right.
to the side. I'm going to add a rock, because why not? Nice little rock over here.
Nice. Where's the entrance to the sewers?
You don't see any here.
They're farther outside the city, probably.
My character might know where they are.
Oh,
All right,
do you want to climb
so-
through the sewers to get in? Because I don't know about that.
Oh,
It's worked before.
that's true. I
Mhm.
just because I'm an urchin and I am from the city and one of the urchin's features like knowing how to get through cities and things. Should I make some kind of history check to remember if I know another way in? I assume there's
Yeah.
other gates, but
Yeah.
it may be a long trek. This is a capital city, but would I know around this area if there's a way into the capital?
I'm going to say, you remember something being there, but when you go and uncover it, instead of it being like a, like a little grate that you could pop up, it's been sealed over.
All right.
Well, this city is now airtight. There goes all my meddling days. Damn it.
Yeah.
And it looks like a recent thing too. It's
How tall are the walls?
really fucking tall, Helm's Deep type.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I mean, I have the spell fly, but I'm not
You
going
do.
to use it here. Let's go ahead and before we go to bed,
Okay, and here's Doggy.
I would
Oh, hi,
like
doggy.
to ask.
Oh, hi, doggy.
I would like to ask Ash if he has a spare dagger.
Yes.
May I borrow
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
Thank you. Now, while you've seen the ways I can conjure weapons, I think if we were to be ambushed or get into some sort of conflict so close to the city, I'd prefer not to use those. So I'll use this instead, and I sneak the dagger away.
Yeah, you can just have that.
Thank you. Don't know what happened to my last one.
I just don't understand the question.
Oh
so-
yeah, sorry.
While you do that, I would like everyone else to just set themselves up. So
That's the only tree?
That's a rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are there just trees everywhere?
this is a clearing. Sorry. So all this
okay.
is trees.
All that's trees. We're in the clearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say this is stuff, like your belongings.
I'm just going to. I mean, all my belongings are like in a pack with me, and I'm not going to. So I'll be up in a tree.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you're sleeping, do you sleep like as a pillow? Is it like?
I'm going to be
hidden?
in the tree like this.
My stuff is always hidden.
Holding it like this, like on my, with
I
my
keep
arms
it
wrapped around it.
underneath my shoe.
Even
like
like
a reverse backpack.
Okay.
And
Ash, I will give you.
and
Where would you be?
I'm also in a tree.
May
Here,
and
good.
I will start.
Yeah, it's
I will use create bonfire just like almost like I'm using flint, but just to make a little fireplace like here, so there's a little bit of warmth and also a little bit of light.
Okay.
Because I don't have dark vision.
That's fine.
But if I hear something in the night, I'm ready to use my ring of X-ray vision to get that extra sight for a little bit. Just so you're aware that if, let's say, I were to wake up, or if I was doing my watch and something really spooked me, let's just say that would be my instant reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And Sova is always standing vigilant on top of me.
Are you making your perception check for the evening?
No.
Okay. Let me know when you want us to make perception checks. Everyone's
Sure
taking a watch?
thing.
Mm-hmm.
mean-
Yeah, I imagine so.
I'm gonna say you don't know anything in the immediate right now. Maybe come morning you might think of something.
Cool.
Who's resting? Who's sleeping?
I'm
Everyone's
sleeping.
going to do a watch.
But
Okay.
Sova is always sentinel too. So.
Yeah. Whoever's on watch, do a perception check.
Okay. The first watch or all the watches?
First watch.
Okay, well, you are rolled, so.
Okay, that's going to
It's all
be 28.
Do we roll with disadvantage because none of us have dark vision?
You've got this in the you got light
Okay,
in the clearing.
okay.
So,
And I see through Sova.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
So first watch, you notice some movement over here.
How's the dog reacting to the movement?
Doggy's sleeping. He's just like resting.
Okay.
So
Do I get
he
this?
doesn't seem to have noticed anything.
Do I get the sense that this is just like in the middle of the night, like animals just move through the forest, or is that this like seems purposeful, like footsteppy, multiple footsteps?
It seems purposeful, but it also does not seem human.
Okay. I send Sova over to wake up my two companions.
Okay. So they're woken up.
Okay.
How do you communicate with them?
I just I imagine that once they're woken up, Sova at least points to me, and I'm like,
Okay, you two can make perception checks over there.
Ew. Gross.
No, I don't see anything. I'm groggy. I'm 3.
13.
You also see something large moving, but you can't really see what, and it's made its way over here now.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna pull out a messenger arrow from my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, what do you think that is? And I rolled a 16, so it's like a 21 or something to shoot
Shoot
an arrow
the
over
arrow
to...
at Franz's feet.
Yeah.
And as that arrow digs its way into the ground,
Yeah. Oh god.
two
Whoops.
hulking masses just start charging.
Great. Whoops. Sorry, guys.
No. It had nothing to do with what
well.
you did. And two huge half bear, half owl things just start charging.
Owl bears.
I love owl bears. Let's roll initiative.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, great.
16.
For initiative or what?
Initiative.
Oh,
8.
Sad.
Okay.
5, 2.
Oof.
Just 2. No, I had my dexterity, right?
Yes.
6.
Okay. Almost there.
Are we relatively deep into the forest?
Not terribly so.
Like 50
So there's just
around.
owlbears hanging out right at the city gates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, the assholes are terrible at their job.
I mean, they're not meant to worry about owlbears, but anyway, let me pull up the owlbear stats, and this one. Wait, the D10 is going to go, boom, 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 and it's going to make a big ol' swipe.
Come at me, bro.
With its claws. That's a 24 to hit.
That does hit.
Shit.
Yup.
But I have uncanny dodge.
Yes, you do. So before that, that's 15. Before your uncanny dodge.
So 8.
Yep.
Cool.
And then it makes a big old bite with its beak at you, but it only rolls. That was a 7, so
That does not hit.
Does a 14 hit you?
14 does not hit me.
Okay, so you get called good with his claws, but you duck back before the beak happens, and now it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna hit him with my boom blade. Does a what?
Magic.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah.
There's a what?
It's going to be a 24.
Yep,
Cool.
that hits him.
Get over here, my dice.
Oof.
10, 16, 18, 25.
Sounds good.
Cool, and I'm going to disengage. I'm taking the puppy with me.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Next up is the dog's turn, and it looks at you to for guidance, because I imagine you just dragged it by the scruff of his neck, and it's looking at you.
Do I get a sense that this dog can or wants to fight?
It doesn't look like it wants to fight.
Well, then I just tell him to stay behind me.
Okay. He does that. Let's see.
It's basically heal.
Yeah, basically perpetual heal.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is M.
So, now, while my longbow is magical, I shoot real arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will conjure my longbow with a bonus action, and I will take 2 shots with real arrows, so it's not that magical. I'm thinking if someone were to investigate the crime, they wouldn't see, this bear burned alive or anything, right? It would be, oh, someone shot this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take 2 shots. Not too good on one. 12 and a 20.
The 20 hits, the 12 does not.
The 22. Can't count. Alright. So it does 1d10 plus 10. Or plus 6, not. I wish it was 1d. Anyway, not a 10. The longbow's a d8. I'm sorry. Alright, that'll be 10 damage.
Okay, on the one that already took damage?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is the D6 owlbear. What's his movement? That's a lot of movement.
Yeah, it is. Owlbears are tall.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Can it do anything?
Does it have reach?
I'm going to use the restroom.
I'm just checking now. It does not. So, it looks like it's ready to fuck you up.
Yeah, I'm like.
And it hauled ass right to you. And next up is Ash.
Alright, so I'm getting down off the tree and I'm gonna run over to the owlbear. I'm assuming that's gonna take all of my movement to get down off the tree and then get over.
I'm gonna say it'll take half your movement to just jump down from the tree, but you're gonna have to make an athletics check if you want to jump.
That's an 18.
Okay, yeah, you're able to jump down. That's half your movement.
Alright, and then do I have...
And do you, so you just jump down?
Yeah, I'm just jumping off and then I want to move as far towards it as possible. I'm not going to be able to reach that without seriously moving some shit around.
10.
No. Oh, no. Sorry. I am going to go towards my companions.
Oh, okay, so 5, 10, 15. If you want to dash...
Are you taking your shit?
I mean, I didn't take any of it off. So, it's up to.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't feel like you guys would sleep with backpacks on you. Like, it would have to be hanging on something or used as, like, a thing.
I mean, I usually use it as like I would imagine it as a pillow.
Yeah. But are you, like, in the heat of the moment, are you really grabbing your thing? That's my question.
Ash trusts no one and nothing.
Okay.
And this dog came up to us, and now we're getting attacked. And he's 100% certain that someone's gonna steal all of his shit.
Okay.
And so,
Good.
like, yes, because he cares about you guys, but not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Fair enough. So that's 15. You can dash if you want to get all the way over.
Yes.
Okay. So you have an extra 30 movement.
Oh.
5, 10.
So I will then.
15,
I'm gonna go right next to Franz.
20, 25, 30.
I was sure I can
Or
make
were
a
you
5
thinking,
foot
like-
step next time. That's fine.
Were you looking for like here?
I'm looking to be a 5 foot step away from that owlbear, so that when Franz gets attacked, I can just.
I mean, then you could just go over here without. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. We're back to the top with a D10 owlbear who is going to get Booming Blade, but he's going to go 5, 10,
10 damage.
15, 20. He does take 10 damage. He does not like that. He's going to make an attack at you. And you imposing disadvantage, or I forget, why are you 5 feet from him?
Just so that I could, be there.
Okay.
Because I no longer, after the character change, I am no longer
Okay.
ranged.
Yep.
I mean, I have a bow, but
Yep.
I'm not great at it.
He misses with his claws at
Good.
you. 15 hit?
Nope.
Okay. Misses with his beak. Your turn.
Cool. I'm going to Booming Blade, the one that's right in front of me. Does a 25 hit?
Yes, does.
Ooh.
That's the D10. Okay.
Where did it go? Another one.
Oh, shit. Okay, 15, 21, 25. Does 30 damage.
All right. Tell me how that kills him.
Oh, fuck. Already? Nice.
Yeah,
I mean, he took a lot of ouches.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I want to basically, like, scratch him with my Booming Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Take a step back, do this, and as it takes a step forward, it just electrocutes into the ground.
Nice. I dig it.
You missing the die?
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault.
Ash, you see this? No, you don't see this. You see this. You watch the dog shapeshift into a person and then swipe at Franz's pack and grab it.
My pack's on my front.
Yeah, but like it's attached somehow. Like he swipes at like the straps.
Okay.
So he grabs the strap, like the strap, and swipes while you're attacking it. So, I'm trying to think of something fair because he's going to just haul ass.
It's
this
my turn
way.
next, though.
It is.
I haven't.
But the thing is, I don't think
yeah,
you're
I haven't
engaged with
actually
him.
gone yet,
I don't think that
so-
anyone's engaged with him,
Did you delay
so
your
you
turn?
can't get an
Nope,
attack
just
of
haven't gone yet.
opportunity.
How did you move down over there?
Oh, I did. Never
I mean,
mind.
really,
was
all
being
he's gonna
stupid.
get is a bunch of weed.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna have. There's a lot of gold.
I mean, who said I kept it in my bag?
There's a lot of gold. There's too much gold for you to have 400 pieces of gold and anything beside your bag. And just 60 feet,
Okay.
dash.
I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay.
That's-
Yeah, you're gonna be in range for that. So.
That is I'm sorry. What saving throw is this?
I don't think it is a saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving.
Well,
DC 16.
it beat it. It got a 16.
Fair enough.
So there's that.
We're not.
Next
No.
up. Oh.
It's still my turn.
Okay.
Can I use a bonus action spell? I have one, Misty
Yeah.
Step. So, I will bonus action Misty Step 30 feet
Mm-hmm.
in their direction and to give chase, and just use my full movement to get
Yep.
closer.
Yeah. Misty Step is that 30 feet.
30
and
feet.
then you use your
instant
movement
teleport.
to.
Your bonus
Okay.
action.
So you are like neck and neck with this one.
Okay.
Next up is the D6 Owlbear, who is going to boom, boom. Now that's an attack of opportunity from you. Actually, yeah, because this one's like scared of this one because you haven't really done
Oh,
anything
do you have
yet.
the sentinel feat?
So,
Oh.
you get an attack of opportunity on that Owlbear.
One owlbear is gone though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah,
the
I'm
D10
sorry.
is going.
19.
That'll hit.
For 7.
Okay. Then we're back at the top with Franz.
Cool. I'm going on a dead ass run.
Sounds good.
Uh,
You're going to incur.
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay. So you're going to dash and be even with the.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash, and then
Okay.
use my movement, and then grab him as my action.
Yep. Let's do the owlbear first, and then that's a 4. So
Yep, nope.
plus whatever. So that's definitely not hitting. So, let
You see
me-
that I'm there.
Yeah.
Chasing after as well.
what was I gonna say?
I'm going to booming blade this
If-
motherfucker.
Yep.
What? You're not going to grapple him?
Oh no, because if he moves, he'll just take damage.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just use a bunch of magic, right?
That is going to be a
That'll hit
24
him.
to hit.
Definitely hit him.
10, 15, 18, 23. He
Okay.
is booming blowed.
Sounds good.
I say, don't move. Trust me. He must be feeling me.
Well, he would have seen
Yeah.
what happened to the owl
Yeah.
there.
You don't have to die here.
Yeah. He's just like. He's already like this. Like he's not even questioning. And
Drop the bag.
Yeah. And I just wanted to describe.
You're a bad boy.
Just still no.
I love it.
Worry about it. You're just
So
dealing with an owlbear by
imagine like
yourself.
someone like
It'll be fine.
It'll
like
be okay.
he's very reminiscent of Ash, but like cleaner. Like like just straight up
That's
like
fine.
like someone who's probably from like nobility, but like or like a higher status or some sort,
Mhm.
but pretending to be like a lower class than they are.
Ash is just over there with the owlbear being like, I fucking told you so, you
Yeah.
fucker.
Oh yeah, you're
Hey,
still stuck with the
I
owl
was
there.
suspicious- I was suspicious as well. Let's see
No, I know.
So we'll resolve this part because you've got him like dead to rights. He is not going to attack. He is
Okay, good. Now I
surrendered.
can
in
focus on the
one
goddamn
round,
owlbear.
would I be able to, because he's willing to grapple and quickly tie him, and then return to the other more? Oh, he can just shapeshift.
No,
Fine.
yeah.
But would I be able to tie him up in one round? Even for Franz to then hang out there, or somebody's got to grapple.
I'll take care of him. Don't you worry.
Are you, Franz? Are you going to kill him?
I'm having major trust issues right now. Unless he gives me a reason to kill him, he's Gucci.
No.
Right, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to say what you're going to do because it's a
Right.
6-second combat.
No, I'm going to. I tell him the thing, and then I return back. I tell him, "Don't be dumb," and I return back, and I have 120 feet. I take two shots at
Oh
the
wait,
owl.
but no, that was. Wait, Ash did no. We went through the whole thing. We're at Franz Hoover Dash. Okay, yeah, I had to remind myself about we went
Yeah,
through
it's
it.
his.
I haven't
it's,
attacked
it's
anyone.
the
Yeah.
dog's turn next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
Alright.
I think you're top of the round, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I confused because
No, he's top of the round. Then it's
Yeah.
me.
well, it would be the dog, and I
Alright.
confused myself because I didn't let the
Okay.
dog go, but he was just
Yeah.
surrendering. So yeah, I don't think you have enough time to tie him up and
Okay.
run.
The,
But you
well,
can
that's
definitely-
how I perceive that. So what
Yeah.
I would do is I'm within 120 feet, right, of
You're only 60 feet from
from the owlbear, so I can take two.
from here, but yes, you can.
Yeah, so I can
fire
take
off.
2 shots at the owlbear, but standing right by this guy, because I can do that. Right, I'm within range.
Mhm.
But there's like trees.
Okay, well, I'll move as close as I need to, where I can get a good line of sight.
I mean, would it count as cover? Would it count as full cover? I guess is the question.
I mean, 60 feet into woods, like it's
That's
gonna,
fair. That's totally
like,
fair.
Alright.
like
So-
you could be 10 feet at most without
I'll
having
take
like
my.
shit in the way.
Oh, wait, what happened to my buff D20?
Because you Misty stepped over with your turn, right?
I moved
Yeah.
60 feet out into the
Yeah.
woods, so I'll move how far you deem necessary for me to be able to get a
30.
clear shot.
I'm going to say 30, but you're going to have a -2. Because it's like half cover.
Fair enough.
Because it's 30 feet away.
If he tries to shoot a bow at me, then he gets the same. No, I'm joking. So one is a 19 and the other is a 13.
Is that with the minus?
Oh, that's without the minus. So
Okay, so
17. Okay. And let's go ahead. That's still pretty good. That's a 13 damage.
Sounds good. He's
Okay,
not
where
liking
is
it.
my black
Ash,
bow?
it's your turn.
Awesome. All right. Well, attack once. Let's see if it hits.
Oh.
Ooh.
Why would I put
Probably
a D20
not,
over
though.
there? Yeah, can you exchange that with this one?
All right. So 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
Thank
Oh,
you.
really?
Yep.
Lovely. All right.
I imagine you move up to melee range to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is I can math 11, and then
I'm not going to do
I'll
it.
use my second. Which is also 15.
That hits.
Oh, 5.
Okay. Franz, you're up. Do you kind of keep him where he is?
I'm gonna tie him up.
Okay, you could, he's not going to be tied up. He's not going to let you tie him up, so you're going to have to do, like, a strength contest to...
That's fine. He dropped my bag though, right?
Yeah, like, he dropped it, but it's, like, right at his feet.
Cool. I grab it.
So.
I'm gonna get rope out of my bag,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to tie him up. Cool. That's a crit.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna say, you're not able to tie him up this round, necessarily, but, like, you're able to hold him so that you can spend,
Gotcha.
like, time tying him up.
Gotcha.
And yeah, next up is him. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Em, you're up.
Okay.
Well, no, because like you have him tied, so
how's
I
this
was going to
owlbear
have him
looking?
wild shape,
Mhm.
but because you crit, I'm gonna say like he started to do it, but like you were able to stop.
We'll take 2 shots at the owlbear.
Do you want to move closer so you don't have the -2?
No, it's okay. They're both 18, so 16 to hit.
Yeah. That hits.
That would be first hit does full damage. 14.
Nice.
The
Tell me the total when it's done.
second one does 11, so 25 damage.
Okay, he's not looking good.
If he's not looking good and I feel like my friend can handle this, I'll double back down and use my movement to get back and kind of
Yep.
flank this guy.
Okay.
Not like with flank moves, but just like flank like in the way that it's used in language.
Yep. Next up, I know, because I say that all the time.
Linked in mechanics, not linked in normal life and not in mechanics.
Well, the first hit's a 22 on you. So.
Oh yeah.
And then let's
definitely.
just see the second one.
Is that a crit? Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
fine.
sorry.
It's okay. It's all
So
good.
1 second. This is going to be a lot of math. More math than I care to do. Alright.
It's alright. We're gonna fuck him up back. It's cool.
Okay, so the first one... So the first one does 8 damage.
Okay.
$22 is the second one.
Okay, so it's 30 total.
Yes.
Cool.
And if that's half your thing, I do it where if you take half their damage, they are knocked prone. So if you're prone.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
That's
as a
on
heads
prone.
up. Yeah, but it works on the enemies when you do that to the enemies, just so you know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
your
also an
first
attack of
encounter-
opportunity getting up. So.
Oh no, I don't do that though.
Okay.
It just takes half your movement.
Oh, alright. That's fine.
Franz, you're up. So you can tie him up this round
Yeah.
if that's
Tying him up.
sounds good.
And I wanna. That's my action?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to well, as a bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to hit him with my dagger. Do non-lethal damage, but I just want booming blade on him.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 24.
Yeah.
So just 15. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just want the status of booming blade on him.
Yeah. Sounds good. What is your damage? Because you do have to narratively.
12, 13, 18, 21, 26 damage.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, you knock him out.
Cool.
But you specified non-lethal, so he's just unconscious.
Yep.
Done.
Can I, since I'm right there, can I tell that it's he's not faking?
Yeah, you could do a perception check.
That's 13.
Can't play dead around
Yeah,
me,
say
boy.
like the dog's not playing dead.
Alright.
He's definitely knocked out.
Okay.
Next up, wait, you didn't get to go after the owlbear, did you? I didn't get. Yeah, you were supposed
Do
to
I
go.
go before?
Yeah, you were supposed to go after the owlbear before
after the
Franz. So I'm
Alright.
so sorry. So
No, it's fine.
So you get up.
Yeah, I get up.
Yep.
Attack. 17, I assume it's.
hits.
I'm just going to roll my other one too. 14. Is the second one?
You murder him.
Cool.
He has 2 HP left. So.
Great.
All right. So like this one, like it like fucks you up, and you're like, not today, and you do whatever thing you do to murder it.
I will return to. I don't even know if he saw this, so I'll return to Ash and I'll say, it would appear that you were maybe more so correct than me, but the dog was not to be trusted. It was a person in disguise, and we've got him knocked out just a ways up. We might want to talk to him and see what we can do. I do try not to harm magic folk, and if we could abide by that, I would appreciate it.
I will go with whatever the majority rule is.
There's only 2 of us.
Then we'll see.
But let's go ahead and let's see what's up.
Okay. And I want to say the guy looks like just a human version of like the dog. So he has like floppy brown hair that's like well groomed. He's wearing a like a bandana around his shoulders.
I slap him awake.
Okay. He doesn't like it, but he's awake.
Before that happens, can I just check his pockets for anything dangerous, any weapons of any kind or anything? Unless he's slapping him awake like while I'm going and getting it.
I'll say you could do both at the same time.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yeah.
16. Oh, is this getting typed out to me? Maybe it's being typed to Leia.
Oh no, this is a Leia thing, sorry.
No, that's okay.
So I turn to him and I say, I'm feeling
That's all.
I'm feeling a bit spicy today. This is a homecoming for me. You ever heard of the 5 Fingers?
1 second. Sorry. Let me get Eric first because there's
You can
stuff
just
for
tell me.
Okay.
You don't have to.
You find his papers. He's like from nobility, and from the area. You could tell by the address. He's got like 60 GP in his pocket if you felt like taking that.
I'll pocket the 60. I will be distributing it to 20 to each. So why don't we just put that in our inventories now? But that doesn't happen in front of him.
Right.
That will happen later.
Alright, so whenever I get up there, I think that he's doing something right now.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
so whenever I get
a
up
whole
there, let me
spiel
know.
planned.
Okay. So
Can I,
he's
like-
awake and he's
I
looking
really
at you.
want to interrupt
and
you.
then the last thing I say is, let's leave him alive. And then
Oh, don't worry, he'll be alive.
and then I back up and I'm just gonna like lean against the tree and I'll let everything play out.
He's tied up. Is he like laying down tied up?
Yeah,
or,
he's like
I'm
hog-tied.
tied. Yes.
He is hog-tied.
This
He's
is
not
so
enjoying
beautiful.
this. And he goes, it's just a con man.
Do you know the 5? Have you ever heard of the 5 Fingers?
They suck.
Okay. I don't know if you know this about the 5 Fingers, but when you steal from one of us, you get what's called a 5-finger discount. And then I take out my dagger. I say, pick a hand.
Oh shit. And he goes, can you untie one so I could pick it?
Nope.
Okay, I pick that hand, and he nods over to one of your friends.
So no. As soon as I walk up and I recognize who he is, I'm like you're like pick a hand, and I just walk up to him. I just like give him a swift kick in the abs. I just run to this and be like, lucky the fuck. Like
Ash.
obviously
like-
knows him.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Do you have a preference on which hand I'm about to cut off?
Do I know what instrument he played?
Probably
played
something
instrument?
stringed, but poorly.
Oh.
Do we have to mutilate the guy?
I I don't know. Ash, you know him better than I do.
He's just like looking at him like, ooh.
He has
And he
betrayed
goes-
my trust in animals, which I never thought could be betrayed. I am fuming right now.
He goes, if you cut off my hand, I'm going to scream really loudly, and that's not a threat, that's just a warning, and you probably don't want the guards out here.
Oh, you're right. And then I take off some cloth and I
Shit.
stuff it in his mouth. I'm like, make sure not to bite your tongue.
Shit. He's looking to Ash for, like, help me, please. Because he got in way over his head with this one.
How old is this kid?
How old is Ash? Because he's around, like, Ash's age.
Ash is like 22.
Yeah. Like, he's just a dumb, noble kid that just wanted to, like, slum it because he thought it would be fun.
I mean, so the problem is that his parents will put a bounty on us if we mutilate their child. Or
Yep.
we could just take him home and get even more money out of his parents.
I do like money. I do like money. I
Mhm.
really like money.
Or we could just,
Can we take a pinky?
Yeah.
I can give him...
I mean, he can definitely learn to play his instruments with four fingers.
Would his family, like, respect the fact that he lost a pinky for being a dumb fucking idiot?
What do I know?
Do a history check.
Would it be history or nobility?
Nobility.
Do we even have nobility in here
No.
anymore? Oh, fuck. No, it's history. Okay, 12.
You don't know. I mean, you could ask, but you don't know.
Yeah. Is your dad a hard ass? I can't remember.
He starts talking, and then he stops, and he's like, "My dad loves me."
Mm-hmm. No noble
You really
kid would
are.
ever say that and
Yeah.
mean it.
I'm like, that's a very dog-like thing for you to say.
Mm-hmm. And my mom loves me even more. They would definitely notice if anything happened. They'd be very, very, very mad. They have lots of money. They will give you money.
Does he doing a deception roll on this one?
You can do an insight check on him.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
super doing insight. That's going to be a
16.
14.
You all, like,
27.
yeah, his parents wouldn't notice. Like, he is rich, but his parents, like, they had a kid for the sake of, like...
Ash is just shaking his head like, Jesus
No.
Christ, kid.
Okay, I take off his left
No.
pinky.
Can
Oh.
Can we hold off on the mutilation for a moment?
Like, you
Okay.
have... I'm gonna say you have it, like, against him, and you were sort of, like, sawing it off at that
I imagine
point.
there's a little bit of blood. I'm like,
Yeah.
speak now.
Listen, I know that is the way that your guild does things, but I think you've grown out of your guild a little bit. You've been away for a long time, and I think that this fellow, I don't know him too well. It would appear that you know him better, Ash, but
Went to
even
school
if-
together, he dropped out. He's
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah. It's better to make friends, especially those who have...
Oh, Lucky will always con you.
Yeah, that's fine.
He will never
Yeah.
be your friend.
Yeah,
I
no,
just want-
that's fine.
He goes, I'll be your friend. I'm man's best friend. I'll turn to a dog again. You loved me. You
I want
kind
to-
of got close to touching my dick there, buddy.
I
I let it
just
happen.
don't think that we're accomplishing...
Dad goes in a little bit deeper.
I don't think that we're accomplishing anything or doing... Like, not only are... Like, obviously, I understand that you maybe don't have a commitment to doing good.
Okay,
but-
I've got a compromise. I have a compromise. I want to file off his calluses. So he can't play as well anymore.
Okay, I can accept that. Go ahead.
Like string instruments?
Yeah, but
Imagine
I mean,
he's built
they-
up calluses over time.
Yeah, but like they peel off and come back. Like
I know.
you always have like those raw periods. But...
Fine, then I'll burn off his fingertips.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, you could just cut off. Ash is just like, I mean,
Like,
if that's what you're going for, you should just cut off his fingertips.
Well,
Like just flay the skin.
well, no. I mean, I've burned like the tip of my finger. It heals. It'll be.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm just gonna kick him as hard as I can in the face, and like, this better be worth. I turn to both of you. This better be worth it.
Okay.
Flaying
Rolo?
fingers hurts.
It
No,
does.
no, it does. It
Yeah.
does. I'm
That's-
just saying,
I'm
like,
just saying.
I've
Yeah.
had, I've definitely peeled my finger with like a
Yeah.
peeler before, while peeling potatoes, and
Roll like
It
a strength
hurts,
check
but-
on that.
my fingers are
Okay.
fine
Okay.
now, right there.
That's gonna be a 15.
You knock a tooth out, and he's got like a bloody nose.
Good.
Which tooth?
I want it to be this one right here.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
You got the good tooth. Okay. He's crying, like sobbing, like ugly sobbing, embarrassing to be around him.
It's like, and I lean down to him like, you were shown mercy today, only
It doesn't feel that way.
only because of how cute you are as a dog. But you have damaged my trust today, and if I ever in my life have to come across you again, if you ever touch my shit
Snot's
again,
rolling down his face right now, like as you're saying this, like he is nodding his head, crying, sobbing, but he somehow is not listening.
like, we better be getting this money, or the Five Fingers will be after you.
I roll my eyes. Is it almost time to go into this?
Yes, it's almost time. God damn it.
I will say, like, he's so scared. He will stay there till sun up.
Well, I mean, he's hogtied, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
he can change form.
Yeah, he could
you
shapeshift
know.
Oh, okay.
into,
That's
like,
fair.
a spider and just... But, like, he's afraid of the Five Fingers when he gets back. Because he's also, like, a big enough name in the city where, like,
Mhm.
can't hide. There's a Lucky.
Alright.
So...
So we go through the rest of the long rest.
Yep.
Okay. And then
Spit on him when we wake up.
Mm-hmm.
and then do we head into the? Now here's the thing.
Do you clean him up at all?
Nope.
Like...
No,
Nope.
I think we should clean him up a little bit, and I also think that we may want to not have him tied up as we approach the gate. It'd be kind of strange to just
Oh
be
no!
walking.
So no.
He's like,
So
can
actually,
I be a dog?
Ash was just like, those pranks that we used to play on different houses in the Bardic College, and how Jerry,
Mm-hmm.
how we hogtied him and dragged him through the streets naked that one time.
That was good. That was good because it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you that time.
You're not gonna do that to me, are you?
I'm kind of considering it.
They're not gonna let that happen. That's disturbing the peace.
Oh.
Fine, turn into a dog.
He dogs
He's
it up.
on the shortest leash. It's the rope is digging into his neck. Like, it's probably animal abuse.
Oof. Even still, he's like leaning into you, trying to like get a head scratch. He's like playing up the
man.
cuteness as much as he can.
I will fuck
And
you up.
he's got like the dog smile. There's a missing, tooth, in the front.
Let's go, you bloody fucking bastard.
Yeah, and he's just trotting along with you. You
I'm
get
gonna
to
write a bard song about the fall of Lucky because I
Nice.
just want to.
I dig it. He does not, but I do.
I play it as we're walking through the city quietly.
Well, you have to get into the city first.
Yeah. It's fair.
So the gate is up now, or open rather,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a small line of people there at that point on the opposite side, like to leave. It's still early where you're kind of the first people to try and enter the city. And you get there, there's guards, and they go papers.
Hand in the papers.
I'm just gonna see if they just fucking crit on their insight. Nope, they do that and they go, okay, what's your business here?
I live here. It's on my papers.
Yep. Okay.
I also frequent the city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play some music.
And
My
you?
family lives here.
Okay. And what was your reason for leaving? I don't see a. You say you live here, but I don't see an exit in a while. They believe.
2 months ago, I was doing business. I was doing contract work.
Okay. And with who?
I was freelancing contract work. I worked
Oh.
for, rich family a couple towns over.
Sounds good. And what's their name?
What was their names? I actually cannot remember their names.
Eden, the
What were their last names?
I mean, we need their actual last name, or can we just make one up?
can you do a history check to remember?
Yeah,
something?
do a constitution check for like Franz to like rack his brain.
That's gonna be a 12.
Yours was the Fight Brothers.
The Flight Brothers?
Yep.
Yeah, the Flight Brothers.
They're like, okay, they write it down, they take notes, they're looking like very closely at you. But then they pass the passport over and let you in.
Thank you.
You?
What seems to be the problem?
Well, you say you live here, but I don't
I
see
didn't
it.
say I live here. I said my family lives here.
Okay.
As you may tell, I'm not from this country. We've recently emigrated here, and my family arrived here before me.
Okay. What's their address?
I give them the address of my actual family. No, I'll give them the address on the street that my family lives on, but not the address of my family. But, you know.
Okay, yeah, like just like a couple houses over,
Yeah.
pretty much. And they go, okay. And they look at the surname, they write it down, and they let you through. So you were all in the city. So it looks very much like how you left it, not you. It's a lot more cleaned up than it was because it was just havoc everywhere. Streets kind of with rubble and everything. But it looks a lot cleaner now. I want to imagine, try and imagine
As clean as it was before?
Cleaner.
Okay, before the meteor struck? Okay.
Yes, and you notice that it's very, very well put together. They did a lot of work in these 2 months. They were working on kind of like the operation structure, and then in these last 2 months, they were finally really honing in on using the people and the structures that they created to clean up the city. So imagine, I don't have a text from you if that's...
No, I just realized I got really fucked up by that owl there.
You did.
And I've done
But
nothing
you-
about it.
No, we
We
finished,
long
we
rest.
finished
Finished
the
our
long
rest.
Yeah, we
Okay.
finished long rest.
Yeah.
Because
So is
any
it
long
just-
rest, you can
cool.
take an
Yeah,
hour
alright.
break within the
Alright.
long rest
Cool.
and still get the full benefits.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't look crazy anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's very regimented, very well put together, and there are guards like everywhere, but not like Inquisition guards. You do see a couple of red cloaks, as you're walking around, and they are kind of just doing a patrol to make sure everything's in order. But there's just a lot of like low-level guards just standing at corners of places, and it's really meant to be like kind of when you go to New York City, that sort of thing where there's police officers at the Penn Station. They're armed, but they're just like they're chatting, so they're not like militant, but they also can be.
Do any of the gods or official looking people look elven?
You could probably do a perception check.
5.
I mean, you can't tell.
I have my hood up.
Mhm.
I always have my cloak hood up now
Mhm.
to cover the ears.
Sounds good. I mean, being elvish isn't a thing to worry about.
Too much. Okay, then I won't worry about that.
So Lucky is looking at you, Franz, and he's like pointing like his nose like in the direction, like as if to like do an insight check to see if you understand what he's trying to do.
That's gonna be 21.
Yeah, he's kind of saying like, I'm gonna lead you to my house.
And I'm like, okay, lead the way. If I sense any trouble, you know what's gonna happen. And I pull up on the leash.
Pretty much, you get a little doggo yelp. It's kind of sad.
Hey, Carl, you're abusing that dog! Someone runs up.
Yeah. So it takes about an hour to walk to the fancy district from the gates. I want to say if you were to walk from like one end to the other, it's really structured like Manhattan in my mind.
Yeah.
So you started off, but instead of like the Upper East Side, like I'm gonna say Midtown is the fancy part.
Okay.
So the fancy part is in the middle, not in the northern part.
Gotcha.
So it takes about an hour to get to the fancy part, and then another half hour of meandering through the streets, and then you're finally at the gates of this really, really fucking nice house.
I spit on him.
On him or the gates?
The dog.
Okay. And
Like Ash is just gonna look at it like, fuck, I should have taken a shower.
yeah, that's true. And it's locked, and the dog looks around, and he's kind of looking a little nervous. Do an insight check.
13.
You can't tell why he's nervous.
Can I?
Yeah.
That would be a 21.
Okay.
Also 21.
There's a what's it called? There's a lock, and he doesn't have thumbs, and he doesn't have a safe place to transform.
Cool. I'm just gonna pick the lock.
No, what? You're gonna pick
There's not like anybody
You're going to
standing
pick-
outside at the gate.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Why don't we
Like
pick our friend?
there's like guards at the
And-
there's guards at the end of the street, but there's not like a person stationed in front of the gate.
And
So
we take him to an alleyway, we let him shapeshift back, and how about this? I'll hold his hand the entire way back to the gate. But do you really want to pick this gate in broad daylight? There's people around. These people are very wealthy and influential. Trust me, this is perhaps not a wise idea.
True.
so you would have to do some backtracking to get to an alleyway, but at this point you can also
I could also find an inn and I could take a shower.
so you don't have to go straight to the thing. He was leading you because he was like, "Oh, we're just gonna go home and give you the money," and then he forgot like all these extra things to worry about, like not being a dog, having his key out. You guys look like shit, you know.
Well, I don't.
You don't,
But Ash, if you think that that's the best choice, yeah, we can do that. My worry is that this one is probably itching to run, and so getting him back to wherever he belongs sooner is better. But if you think that it would be best for our chances of getting what we need to bathe up and whatnot, I respect that, and we can do that.
The better I look, the more money we'll get.
Okay.
If I look like a beggar, not gonna
Okay.
get anything.
Alright, fair enough. So, I assume you know an inn nearby?
Sure.
Yeah, you can find an inn. It'll cost like a silver piece each
That's
and you're not going to like the fanciest inn. I imagine you're just gonna go to any place you could get a good
Already
shower.
I mean, we're in the fancy
Already
side
did
of
that.
town already, so it might be
True.
I mean,
if you
it depends on if
they'll
these
have
guys
the,
protest.
they'll have the early leave special. You know, you just show up to do a nap and leave before nighttime or whatever. They'll do a special.
What was the name
So
of this fellow again?
lucky?
Lucky.
Lucky.
His last name
As
is
we're
Craig.
walking, I'm just going to say, Lucky, looking at you, I gotta say, I gotta wonder where the keys go when you turn into a dog.
You don't get an answer until he shapeshifts, and he goes, "You don't want to know." And he's sticking as close to Ash as like you two allow. And when he finds out that like Ash is showering, he's like, "Can I shower too?" I got like, and he points to like his like messy face.
Nope, you stay the same.
My parents will be upset.
Yep, that's the point.
But what you don't understand is that we can say that we helped you out of a rough spot. Some other people were beating you up, and we came along, and who knows
Or we just
what
tell him
got-
that 100% absolute truth that he was slumming outside the city, basically kidnapping people. Not kidnapping, stealing from people.
They wouldn't believe that.
Well, they believe it if I told them.
Don't tell them.
No, we're telling
Don't tell my
him
mom, please.
everything. Because you've been a bad boy.
How everything is everything.
I defer to Ash and whatever he thinks is the best course of action. He knows these people.
Yeah.
I look at him, I'm like, I don't know. How much is that worth to you?
Oh, how much is it worth to you?
Let's figure out how much your parents are willing to pay for the reward of finding you.
Yeah. And not killing you.
To be fair, they'll probably pay you to keep me away.
I'll take that, too. I mean, you mean nothing to me.
Thanks. I hear that a lot. No.
Actually, that's not true. He means a lot to you in the negative.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, he.
So yeah.
You more closely mean nothing to me.
Okay, I guess I can't shower. Okay.
Yeah, so Ash is in the shower and like,
Does
put
he sing
on
in the shower?
nice clothes.
Mm-hmm. How well does he clean up?
Like he cleans up.
Nice.
Does some shaving probably.
Uh-huh.
And like comes out in his actual like fancy bard garb.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And is like all of a sudden totally
Damn. Clean up there, Ash.
clean up good.
I'm gonna take a shower too. Figure a 15-year-old boy's gonna drag this 22-year-old home and demand money.
Are you going to use like any disguise self things or to like look fancier than you are? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a mustache.
Nice. Are you gonna use your mustache machine?
Oh yeah.
You gotta roll that charisma check.
What is it again? Just a 20? D20 plus charisma? That's a 20.
Okay, you get to choose.
It's just gonna be like a nice bushy mustache.
Solid.
Very regal, very formal.
I dig it. You look 16 now. No.
Dope.
No. Like, you definitely look around their age. Like, you don't look like a child anymore. And then I imagine, you can pass at this point because you have enough, like, noble clothes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm wearing my noble clothes too. This guy's cute.
Solid.
Okay. I'll make sure that my breastplate is. I would have done this last night. Is underneath my clothing rather than over, which it was for the last fight, because I just put it on.
Yep. So yeah, you guys make your way back to Lucky's house, and this time he has hands so he can unlock the lock.
Good boy.
And yeah, I am a good boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah.
sure you tell yourself that.
Yep.
Every
It's so
morning.
good that you're not gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
Tell me, do your parents know about your forelegs?
No.
You know, he gets to decide whether or not that information comes out.
That would be killing me.
Yep. So, play in our hand.
Okay. I mean, okay. Okay.
Ash
I
just
think-
kind of winks at him and like,
Yep.
Ash is always on everyone's side. So.
Mhm.
It's,
So he walks up to the door and gives a little like knock before entering, not like asking for permission, but like, "Hey, I'm here and let's go inside." And you're immediately greeted by like the someone who's cleaning the house, like a
Maid or
butler,
butler,
and they turn around and they go, "Oh, what happened to you? Who are they?"
Yeah,
and
what
then they
happened,
see you.
Lucky?
Would you have been have you been to Lucky's house before? Or?
probably.
Okay.
I imagine Lucky to be like 1 or 2 years younger than me, and like I pulled this kid out of several scrapes. Like I'm imagining this Bard college we went to being like something with like
like the worst kind of
secret
frat house?
societies, like secret society, yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
like I got this shit for a little brother or something, or one of them, like
Okay.
not like super close,
Yeah.
but like I've had to pull him out of more than one.
Okay.
Like,
So they greet you warmly because they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time."
yeah, no, I've been away.
Okay. What happened to him?
Well, I decided to steal the wrong shit from the wrong people. Again.
And
Yep.
she does not look surprised. I think that this housekeeper has played more of a hand with Lucky than his parents have. So she's like, "What are you doing? You dropped out of college. You have all the money in the world, and you're still causing trouble. Get upstairs, wash up, clean your room or something. I don't know. Do you let him go up, or I'm just not sure if
I look over at Franz.
It's like, he's been a pretty good boy this morning. All things considered, I think he deserves a bit of a shower.
Okay. Can I get you a drink? I really appreciate you. And like she's mostly talking to Ash, not out of like rudeness. It's just like she's comfortable talking to Ash, and she doesn't know who you are. And she's like, "Thank you for pulling him out again. But would you all like to stay for tea? I could have a lunch and get your bellies full before you're on your way."
That would be lovely. I would prefer some coffee though. I'm still trying to wake up.
Okay, sure, absolutely. And she'll lead you to the dining room, which is huge, super fancy. Like Franz would love to take every single piece of thing here because there's so much decorative like china and stuff. But she leaves you to go into the kitchen or pantry to get some coffee going, some biscuits and stuff, and she'll come back a few minutes later and lay out the table for you guys with food and coffee.
Lovely.
So who are you?
Well, this is Franz, and this is Em.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Are you new in town?
I'm actually from the capital.
Oh, okay. What part?
I'm actually live around here.
Cool. I've never seen you before. Who's your family?
Well, actually, I kind of grew up an orphan, but the local pediatrician, I kind of worked with him, and he kind of, once I got out of the orphanage, kind of took me under his wing.
That's very nice. I didn't take him for that kind of person, but I guess he is a good person after all.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
And there's the unsaid, like, he never talks about you, but she doesn't want to bring that up. Like, she's almost awkward. She doesn't want to make Franz feel bad.
It's like, I mean, he really, Zeno really wouldn't talk about me, but, he's always a good guy.
I haven't been back in a while. I haven't had to pull a kid out of any scrapes in a while, but is Maria's bounty still active for when we bring her son home?
Oh, you just slammed a name on me and I didn't even expect it.
Just
I love it.
Dropping mom's name.
Yep, no, I love it.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. She goes, yes, I'll go get the usual from the usual place. And she leaves and comes back with 99 gold pieces in a bag, evenly split.
So 99 for each or 33 each?
33
each.
That sounds lovely.
Sometimes I think he does this on purpose just to deplete mommy and daddy's money.
Well, it's the only way that he ever gets attention. So I suppose.
It's funny. Like, he makes less than the actual bounty by doing this.
Well, how have you been?
It's been okay. Things are getting nicer around here. Streets are cleaned up. Not so many, riffraff running around here causing trouble. So it's just nice to feel safe for once in, a long time.
It's been like, I remember when I was back here, it just felt like every night just break-in after break-in after break-in. Is that like been squashed?
Yeah, for the most part, I know that there's a lot of law enforcement now making sure that bad people are no longer doing bad things.
Good for them.
I think that there will always be, some people trying to push their luck, but I don't think that's
case in point.
Yes. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's nice.
It's good. Has the city been working more and more with the Inquisition? We're just coming back into town. It's just been... They've been everywhere. I know the presence has been steadily increasing, but it feels like overnight.
So the mayor, and at this point, like, the mayor's just kind of been, like, whoever is just making all the shots. It hasn't been any one person elected, but one person, as you know, is just kind of growing, and then it doesn't strike you as anything weird for there to be a mayor now, because it was an anarchy and people were really trying to just have some sort of unified commander. And she goes, 2 or 3 months ago, the mayor decided to, make a pact with the Inquisition to work together, and it's been really working out, and I appreciate it.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
we want to make sure that those who would complicate our lives, are taken care of.
Yes, absolutely. And I didn't think the mayor was going to swing that way. But he had a very quick change of heart, and I think it was for the better.
Who was elected? It's kind of impressive that.
I didn't come up with a name. I'm awful. Let's his name.
Gregory Stimholt.
Gregory Stimholt.
Really?
Yes.
That sleazy. I mean, I guess you're sleazy. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too political, but I never liked him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want. As a person, maybe not the best, but as a law enforcer, as a governor, as a mayor, yeah, doing his job.
Good for him. Good for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I thought with the recent, second meteor, thank God it didn't hit us again. There's been, more of the magic shorts springing up here and there, much like the first impact. So it's been a little bit tough the past few days, but I think everyone's making their best effort to keep things under wraps. And I think you would know, she wouldn't outright, attack or hurt or call out someone who's magical. She's definitely wary. She definitely does not want them in her house, in a sense, because it's against the law. So she's just looking for order, is more or less what she wants.
Right.
So, just, what you would know from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, how are Lucky's parents? How are they doing? Lucky seemed kind of I don't know, hesitant coming back here.
I mean, yeah. If you they're gonna be pissed at him. So I would be hesitant if I were in his shoes too. And then at this point, Lucky comes back downstairs and he looks a little upset that you're still here. Because he was hungry and he came down for food and he was hoping you'd be gone by this point. And he just slumps and then he goes over at the table like this.
Ash is
all upset.
Ash is literally gonna say, "Oh, Claude, there's food. You want me to make you a bowl?"
It's been a doggone day, hasn't it?
And he opens his mouth to tell you guys to shut up, and then the maid just swipes at his hand and then she goes, "Paws off the table." Completely not knowing, but accidentally adding to this pun fest. And he slumps back and he's like, "Can I have some biscuits, please?" And she just moves the biscuits over. Gives him a look like, "You have hands, you could have done this yourself," but she does it anyway.
See, when you decide not to grow up, you get treated like a child.
Yeah, well, at least I don't have to work. And he just starts eating his biscuit.
Yeah, what's on the agenda for the rest of the day there, Lucky?
Going to the dentist.
You're going to the dentist. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Points very sullenly to his mouth.
What happened? You want to tell us what happened there?
Yeah, some ugly, ratty fucker kicked me in the mouth.
Language.
Sorry, this dirty, ugly, stupid
Oh, God.
child
Yes, I mean,
hurt me a lot.
yeah, when you fuck with shit, you're not gonna stop in it.
Language.
And I'm like,
Adults get to say what they want.
yeah, and that's about the time we had to come in and deliver you.
Mm-hmm.
What I love is that you got beat up by a 15-year-old this time. It's just like,
and at which point, I'm gonna give her a name. Her name is, what's her name?
Gertrude.
Gertrude turns to Lucky and she goes, "This is why you should have stayed in fighter school and not gone to Bard school. This wouldn't have happened."
Or maybe you should have just stayed in school, period.
And he goes, "School's for losers."
Yeah, clearly you didn't learn anything.
So, yeah, he's just he's not saying anything at this point. He's just very, he's just filling his belly, and licking his wounds pretty much. And Gertrude goes, "Is anything else I could do for you? I think the young master here is had a bit of a day already, so he might want to. Have
No, we
some
appreciate the
something else
biscuits. It's been a long time on the road, so
We appreciate it.
much
Thank you.
appreciated.
up. Well, you're always welcome.
We will. Thank you. That is much appreciated.
And I'll say hi to your father for you.
Absolutely. Give Xena my best. I actually need to. It's been a while since I've seen him.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And then
We'll show ourselves out.
Yep. Sounds good. So, what's the first thing on the agenda? It's kind of an open
Right.
world map at this point. There's like everything here,
Yep.
pretty much, except magic.
I mean, we could go get some better papers. Make sure we can navigate the city better.
Sure. I mean, I think my papers are relatively solid, but for
Yep.
M.
Yep, and I need a new set, anyways.
Mm.
I need I have the afternoon.
Yeah, we could spend a few days here. It's not a problem.
Yeah, like you could spend as much or as little time as you want here.
I'd like to, by myself,
Mm-hmm.
just go visit my home and just see my family. I don't want to engage with them.
Okay, I'll say that. Like, are you gonna go with them to get the papers, or are you gonna do that on a separate time when they're doing?
Separate time.
Okay, sounds good. So, you know where the Five Fingers are.
Yep, the pediatrician's office.
Oh no! I mean, the first thing I would do is go see the family. If they want to go do the papers thing, I can do it again at a different time. I was saying this is what I would like to do this afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Emma's getting a little emotional being back in the capital after
Okay.
being gone for 3.5 years.
Okay. So I guess for the last 20 minutes, because I don't imagine, so you can just chill. You go there, and there is, do a perception check before you go to your usual spot.
Well, it's going to be a 17.
Okay, there is a lot of, like, guard activity around here. And when you look at the usual spot, there's a... Do an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana is something under intelligence. It's going to be an 18.
Okay. You could tell that where your, like, old secret hidey place used to be, there's this kind of magical aura by it. And you can't really tell whether it's hiding a message or hiding an entrance. But you can tell that there's definitely going to be some sort of answer at that spot. So, what do you do?
Well, we gotta go inside. We gotta make an appointment for little Jack.
Okay.
Take your lead here.
Okay, so can you describe the usual way you would get in?
Yeah, so you go into the front office, you go up to the secretary and say, I need to make an appointment for my little boy Jack.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so here I was thinking like it was like a secret entrance that they, like...
Oh, that's
sealed up.
That's further down.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have gotten that far, to know how to, like, get around that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the two of you are led right away, down the usual path. Can you describe the entrance to it? Because you are able to get in.
Yep, so it's like a typical pediatrician's office. They take you downstairs into the basement, very formal basement, and it's typical bookshelf
Yep.
kind of mechanics, and then it kind of pops out, and then there's just a wall, and then there is an indentation for 5 fingers,
Nice.
and then a slight turn, revealing the second basement,
Okay.
which is where the guild's at.
Nice. It looks slightly more populated, surprisingly,
Good for
than
them.
you're used to. Make a perception check to see who you see.
The greater the police presence, the greater the thieves' presence. That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
Like when one gets organized, so does the other.
11.
You're not able to see any of the usual people that you're used to seeing here. There seems to be more rooms, more space, so they've expanded a bit.
Damn. It's got
And
fancy. My
the
cop better still be back there.
yeah. The people in this part seem to be no one you recognize. Are probably newer ones, you know, grunt level work. But you do notice a certain King Kingsley milling about, just carrying something, but hustling and bustling, trying his best to impress, more or less.
I go in.
Sorry, I wanted to see how long I could keep that going.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
I'm gonna go and slap him hard in the back.
Oof, he stumbles forward. Let me see if he keeps... No, he nat fails.
Can I catch his tray? Is he carrying a tray around?
It's like a big crate type
Oh,
of thing. So do you
right.
want to try and catch it for him?
Sure. Let's
Okay,
see
do
how
a
badly
dex
this
save.
goes. 14. So not great. But also not awful.
Yeah, you do a little slap almost, like, but you were able to catch it in the end. And he turns to you and he goes, "Oh, it's you.
Yeah. Oh, it's me indeed. How are you doing? So you got in.
I did. Surprised to see you.
Why surprised to see me?
'Cause they're after you, the Inquisition. You're like on the wanted list.
Yeah, I know how to get around.
Well, good for you, I guess. What are you carrying right now? It's like a crate of stuff that's like covered, so you would have to pry it open to look in.
Okay.
He goes, what was the question?
I just want to see how you're how you're doing. I mean, you seem acting a little bit strange there, buddy. After I got you in here.
Yeah, I guess. Don't tell anyone that a chandelier fell on me.
Okay.
Because I kind of got a little bit of a good name, and I don't want to ruin it.
Well, look at you, an upstanding thief.
Yeah.
Look at you, how cute. You know where Joe's at?
Yeah, she's in the back. She's captain's quarters kind of thing. We haven't decided on a name. That's what I call it in my head. But it hasn't caught on yet. But it's where Joe is.
Okay.
At this point, literally, Ash is gonna go just not like super loud, but like, you know, like other people could definitely hear, and be like, "Why would it matter if a chandelier fell on you?"
He turns and he's like, "I thought we were cool, stop!" And then he just like grabs the thing and hurries off. Just hauls
Ash
ass
says
through.
this like giant grin on his face and turns towards these captain quarters.
Yeah. So a couple of people are the people are definitely staring at you because you're like Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
Yeah.
Most of them don't recognize you because they're new additions.
Michael, you've never heard of me?
Who are you?
I'm Franz.
Um.
I'm the young prodigy.
1 second. Oh my god. Everyone in earshot of you rolled a 3, 4, and a 3. They go, okay, yeah, whatever. And
Who are you?
I don't know. And they're not like engaging with you because they really, everyone in here is working to impress. They like head, nose to the grind, getting shit done, and talking to you when they don't see why you're so important seems to be a waste of time. So they're just not going to engage with it.
Man, Joe really got this shit together.
Yep. So the door's unlocked. You could just open it up if you wanted. But it's up to you whether or not you want to do like guess who's home or
Do I get the sense of is the door open like a little bit?
No, it's closed.
Okay. It's like, okay, you should go in there. I need you to distract Joe.
By doing what?
Just talking. Just like if you can get her back turned to the door, it'd be great.
So he's. I guess I'm gonna politely knock on the door because he's in a thieves guild. It's not stupid.
You see, she's Elven, right? Or half?
Half elf, yeah.
So you see the door open,
Oh,
and someone that's tall. What is she?
Yeah,
like, what's she?
She's like taller. I'd probably say like over 6 foot.
Yeah.
So she's like intimidating.
Yeah, so she's intimidating.
Okay, give me, just tell me high
Like,
or low.
I want you to
Just choose one, high or low.
High.
Okay.
Okay, just so you imagine what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
I'm imagining, like, a tall, buff thief Siobhan Watson.
Yep, that's
So-
exactly
so, like,
it.
yes.
So like, if Brienne was stealthy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a Game of Thrones reference.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But that's who I'm
These
imagining.
are all
absolutely
accurate. These
not.
are all accurate.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So he is gonna walk in, see her, and be like,
Well, she's not letting you in.
Oh.
She opened the door, and she's
"Okay,
standing
gotcha.
right there.
Where are you then?"
This is one of many stealth checks I'm going to make.
Yes.
That's going to be a 17.
Okay, let me
So
see.
imagine
Can I also roll to see if I see him?
a 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I roll to see if I see him?
You could see if you. Yeah.
I mean, you could just.
I
follow
don't.
with
I
your
don't.
Eyes,
Okay.
Because like
Okay.
it's not like it's like the difference between like watching someone like go sneak around the corner.
But I'm not, because she opens the door and
Oh.
she's like this.
Okay.
Like,
All right. No,
Yeah.
fair enough.
yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I actually forgot to pull up her stats. But yeah, she sees you and she goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
And he sees her, there's like this calculating quarter second, and goes, "Franz's, God damn it."
I love it. Now, do an insight check, or
Sure.
you do an insight check at that happen.
That's going to be a 22.
You see her face or like her expression, her body posture, and she's like, not another one from him, because you already sent King Kingsley here. So now she's pissed that she's got another fucker she has to adopt, and this one is not subtle at all.
so he's like,
What
"Franz,
did Franz send? Like,
no,
why?
no, Franz is here. And he just decided to do his stealth shit, and I'm
And
annoyed."
she immediately turns around and is looking for you. If you want to stay hidden.
He knows when he's out of his league, dude.
1 second.
I'm going to use a lucky point.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. That's a 28.
Okay, you're able to like
Fuck.
duck under somewhere, but she's looking for you. And she turns to the room, because at this point she knows you have to be in here somewhere. And she goes, "Get the fuck out before what's a good threat? I don't know.
The 5-finger discount.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think she would be that rough,
No,
but
not
she's
right now.
like, just get out of here before I, stomp on your leg and make you hobble for a week or whatever."
So is this all still happening in the doorway?
Yeah, she's in the doorway still, but she's turned now towards you.
She can't see me.
She can't. But like,
Oh.
she's turned towards you, but she doesn't
Yeah.
know where you are.
She's turned towards the room. I don't know actually.
Yeah,
where
she
he
doesn't.
went.
She doesn't see me, so I'm just waiting for my opportunity.
Like,
And then at which point she like blindly grabs like Ash's hand, and like not like hurt twist, but like it's getting there, and she goes, "I'll pop it out."
oh, please don't. like he is not resisting her in any way. It's just like, oh, please don't. Like, I need that. I need it for things. That's my livelihood.
What does Franz do?
I mean, he did just sell you out, so if he's not actually expecting you to do anything, but like,
Look up the parameters of this spell.
Oh my god. 5.
Okay, so he
4.
from in the room, you're gonna hear like books falling.
Okay.
Yeah, the sound of like someone's like rustling around in her quarters.
Mhm. 3,
That's
the
2.
wait, I'm supposed to do something.
She's
Wait.
counting down.
Oh, Jesus!
You
Fucking...
don't want me to get to 1, Franz.
okay.
mm,
She feels a tap on the back of her shoulder,
And she looks.
and then I'm going to use this opportunity to get my piggyback ride.
Jesus Christ. Make let's just do a strength check to
Okay.
see whether or not you get on and stay on.
Okay, I'm gonna use a lucky point. That is going to be a 15.
Okay, you're on her back.
And you see me like, this is like, we are the champions. I'm like, finally! Got you! I got you! I got you! And I give her a noogie.
Oh my god, she like back drops. Like she holds on
Yep.
to you and just
Is she still
flops
holding?
back
I'm
to
hoping she's not holding on to me still.
No,
Okay,
she's
good.
she just like you hit the floor cushioning her blow.
Yep, I'll take damage for that.
Yeah, just a 1d4 bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
And she immediately stands up and she goes, I'm trying to get work done here. But first, give me a hug.
Yeah!
And she gives you a hug,
I told you I'd get you.
takes your bag on the way back. And she, tosses it to the side, like, you could get it, but you gotta pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And she, goes, you are causing so much trouble for me without even being here.
What's going on?
Okay, first of all, who the fuck was that kid? I mean, he ended up being okay, but who the fuck was that kid?
He seemed like he had promise, and I knew how much you liked me, so I figured...
I don't like you.
Well, I figured if you didn't have my face to look at, you could have his face to look at.
Yeah, but neither are good faces to look at.
But you keep us around.
I do, because you're useful. Now, who the fuck is this one?
This is Ash. Ash is pretty cool. We're on a really...
Is he, though? Like,
No.
she's looking you up and
Right?
down, like,
he actually just says,
those
no, I'm
pants
really
are
not.
ridiculous.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Yeah, we just conned someone out of 100 gold, so...
Okay, cool, percentage.
What was the running rate again?
I'm gonna say, like, everything is, like, 15%, like,
Okay.
goes to the guild.
Okay, this wasn't guild business, though, so...
It is now.
No.
Don't hold out on me, Franz.
I
You
will
know how
hold.
this goes.
This isn't holding out on you. I didn't do anything for the guild. Hey, I wrote you a letter. I never got anything back.
Yeah, we just sent it back.
Bullshit. That was like 2 months ago.
It took a long time to decode. It was a fucking symbol thing.
Fine. Throw it
And
over.
it looked, what?
I get my bag and I'm like...
I like that you have to pay half. Because you told her it was 100 gold.
Yep. So she relaxes once she gets like a little bit, and you could tell like she wasn't like looking to penny pinch you, but she just wanted something just because you're being a little shit.
Naturally.
But yeah. She goes, well, you ready to be useful?
When am I not useful?
For the past 2 months. But yeah.
Okay.
Basically all the time.
Okay, one, I have made it a killing out there. You said there was no money to make out in the country, and I have made a killing.
Okay, how much?
I'm not telling you. Because we told you from the get-go that this was going to be a solo stint to see if I could do it. We discussed from the beginning that it was not guild business.
Okay, fine. Thought I could get you.
Huh?
But
So, a lot of things have happened. Have you heard about what's happening at Dorking?
yeah. Yeah, I know. Did you see? And she actually pulls out a poster, a wanted poster, and it's your face, but like slightly like uglier. Like they put the eyes too close together, and like they made your jaw like weird. So like they just did a bad job at describing you, but like she knows who you are.
Oh my god! How do you not have that framed? Come on, I've officially made it big.
Fine. And did you see how much your head is worth?
No, how much am I worth?
A lot.
Like how much?
Like.
Like is my life is that worth more to you than my life?
Oh no, but I mean, you do go on. It did get you on the board of wanted posters, and
Man,
like,
those guards are dumb. Those guards are dumb.
They were looking at you hard though. They were. But anyway, like I imagine, like at the Thieves Guild, like there's like a little like wall of fame of who's wanted for the most amount, and like the biggest amount has been like 10,000 GP. And I would say like it's gonna be like the top like 20 people, and you made it to like 18. So
top 20. It's been a big dream of mine. Big dream. And then what was the name of the town with bogs in them?
Taijo Bogs.
Oh yeah. Remember? Have you heard about the bogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
the fuck?
Huh?
The fuck?
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. And I'm sure you noticed, and I'm already magic. I'm pretty magical now, and then I do some tricks with.
Her face falls a little, like she's like.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
We're standing on like a balcony in front of people right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like one of those situations where like I'm like, oh, I haven't seen my friend in a long time, so I'm just gonna be a complete asshole, even though everyone else around me has no idea what the dynamic is.
Yeah, so she's like sitting there like she's not like looking to throw you out, but she does not like seeing all this happen. And she lets you do it for a little bit, but then she just like grabs your hands and like holds them. She goes, "You need to stop that."
Got a boss.
Okay. I'm going to say we're gonna put a pause for now because I want to let the next chapter happen next time because we are at 4:30. We'll figure out a way to get M in here, maybe. Maybe we could say, oh, you have a friend. I'm
assuming we like had set up a meeting place.
Yeah, I'm gonna send Kingsley.
We have a spot in the inn for the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want the next part to happen with everyone here.
Yep.
So we'll figure out just like
everyone in this.
In the Thieves Guild, talking to Joe, or
right.
Yeah,
so we'll just have to go fetch her.
Yep.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Today was a fun one.
Yeah.
Today was a real fun one.
Yeah. I particularly feel like we became a team this time.
Yeah.
There was some we jammed out.
We did.
We beat up a little kid.
I love that part. I also love because here's the thing. I anticipated the rich kid thing for Lucky, but I didn't consider him really knowing you until you asked. I was like, you know what, that would be a cool thing. So just by you asking, you had that dynamic, which was fun.
That was fun.
Because otherwise, he just would have been this rich kid that wanted to be bigger than he was, or do stupid rich kid things.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 second. I'm just gonna pull up a question I was gonna ask. But does anyone have anything they want to talk about before I get into questions or talking? Working through the session today.
Yeah, it was fun to play Franz in an era he's comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, he has never given someone the 5-finger discount, so he almost wanted to.
Oh yeah.
He almost wanted to bring the hand as a badge of honor.
I gotta say that was a little scary, when Franz was doing the Thieves Guild thing.
I don't know. I think it's really interesting to be because we definitely have this relatively good person, relatively almost kind of evil person, and the true neutral in the middle. And I literally Ash has been which one is gonna in this moment right now, which one am I gonna back for what thing that we're doing, which has been, I don't know, it's been an interesting character dynamic to have 3 different, because I think that he definitely tends toward chaos.
Oh yeah.
And Franz also tends toward chaos.
He is chaotic neutral, because I think, going back to the earlier conversation, before we started streaming everyone, this idea about having a conscience.
Right.
He's more rash than anything. So it took a lot of willpower on his part to not cut this guy's hand off.
Yeah, I think that on the spectrum, if we're talking about alignments, whatever, you're definitely farther on the spectrum of chaotic, and I am farther towards the true neutral.
Oh yeah.
Because M was this kid can't die, and Ash was probably not.
Well, I had no intention of killing him. Just
just mutilating
some light mutilation.
The poor little bard.
Yeah.
I think that likely
and a failed bard.
Right. I think that actually if he hadn't been such a sniveling little kid, because he's not really a little kid, but definitely saw him as a little kid, he would have let you take that hand. But because because he was just so almost innocent in his stupidity, it was.
I'm just gonna give a shout out to our DM for just giving this NPC a person,
right?
A sense of identity. Because if this was just a no-name NPC,
right?
As a player, I probably been I have no investment in this character, and doesn't matter what happens to his right or left hand.
Sure. What was I gonna say? You were talking about sniveling, this and that. Oh, I also talking about him as a child, like when everyone was like, "Oh, the adults get to say bad words," like just that sort of
That
you
was
all were
fun.
really playing off of each other. Like one
Yeah.
person started, and then it just like it was cool to see that grow as well.
Yeah.
Just the RP element of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like. We talked about this a little bit when we had Marielle and Allison and Joe here, where you were all deciding to loot their dead bodies, and it was kind of weird, like having the
That was
people
weird.
there. So talking about how NPCs have this characteristic where suddenly you have to acknowledge their like quote unquote personhood instead of they're just a nameless let's hack and slash and get what we want and then get out of here. So I'm not sure if we wanted to talk about that a little bit more.
I mean, that's come up a couple of times, like when Mags was like, let's not kill this person. Like, Mags, like, in that one episode. And then, like, we did anyway. Like that, I mean, it's interesting to see how that all plays out, depending on what kind of character you have, like, whether or not the NPCs are people, or whether or not, because you as a player aren't invested in them, they aren't real people. Like, it's interesting to see, like, so Eric, you're like playing a character that gives a shit about life, right? Like, so like, where does that come from? Does it come from the character, or does it come from like you wanting to play that kind of character, or like why is M a good person? That seems like a really awful thing to have to ask, but like.
Why would you dare be a good person?
No, I mean, like, it's a good thing that you're a good person, but every, like,
No.
character choices, character building and character choices, every single part of that is a choice that you're making as you, either when you're playing or, like, in the creation, and so, like, for M, where does it come from, you know?
In creation, I like to play, usually, characters more on the good end, not necessarily, like, 100% like, righteous brand warriors, but,
Right.
like, you know, I don't know, I find it more, for me personally, I find it more interesting to try to play a character who, like, here's how I put it. What I really love about Superman, who's one of my favorite superheroes, probably my favorite, is that Superman's struggles are never really to do with, like, how strong he is. It's not, like, at least a good Superman story is not, can Superman punch that thing harder than it can punch him? It's like Superman, like, he can't be in two places at once, and he has to make a decision on what the right thing to do is, and, like, that kind of thing. Like, those are interesting stories from my opinion to tell. And so to me, I'm interested in like thinking through and being like, oh man, you've got these different options you can do. What is like the right and the good thing to do if you're trying to be like good, and then trying to do it based on your character's values. In terms of the actual character, they are like a celestial warlock, so they have like a celestial patron who's basically like, these are the rules, like them's be the rules. So basically the this has been revealed in other episodes that you weren't in, but basically, we'll call her Nor, because that's her name. Nor's patron is the Deathbringer. It's like, and so this angelic figure's goal is to make sure that nothing lives beyond when it's dead, and nothing dies early. And so, you know, there's free reign there. But generally speaking, that's like, maybe we shouldn't be mutilating people. Like, maybe that's like taking them too soon, like not letting nature do its thing.
It's funny when you brought up Superman. It reminded me of there was this guy Josh who owns a comic shop in New York, and he will never not tell this story about this one Superman issue, and he tears up every time he talks about it, where Superman was in one place, and then he realized that this woman was going to get shot in another place. And he did the calculations, and even if he left at that moment, he wouldn't be able to save her in time. But then he goes anyway, and just hauls ass, and then she does something to, like, that he didn't anticipate to give himself just enough time to save her. And, like, when he talked about how it's always, you know, not how hard he can punch something, but, like, how, you know, whether or not he could save someone in time. So that just reminded me of that story. And support your local comic shops, kids.
Do it. We have several of them in Milwaukee. So.
And your local board game shops.
It's
Hashtag board game barrister.
The only place you could buy comics in my hometown was Book World.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Book World? Was it like locally owned or was it a chain?
It's a chain. Book World is like a chain that's throughout. At least it's like in a bunch of northern Wisconsin towns.
Okay.
But it's like the only place to buy books besides like Walmart
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of towns, like smaller towns.
Mm. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Like, okay, so it's been interesting as a character that doesn't have a patron god.
That's true.
In a group of people that, like, literally, like, you called on your god and he showed up. Like, Ash still was
That's
just
like-
like...
He
To be
wasn't
fair,
supposed
In the
to.
entire semester, that's
Yeah.
the extent of relationship
Yeah.
we've had on stream with that
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I'm
like-
not saying stuff might have happened in chat, but like I've never seen
No, I
it.
can
But it's-
confirm that's like the first time.
Well, what happened with that though is because we got sick because we were in a situation where the earth fell and we got saved.
Right, yeah.
And so it's not like Franz has any association with this god. This
Right,
god just
but
intervened into his life.
for Ash,
Yeah.
he doesn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so all he sees is like, all right, so these people are stupid enough to be like walking through this forest. I guess I'll just save them for funsies. Because I was around.
As you are.
As I feel like that is his like whole shtick, is he's just around. And shit happens and he decides whether or not he's gonna engage. And then like we literally destroyed this entire compound with like 7 people.
Yep.
And then like the next thing is like literally a god coming to your aid.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, I'm gonna follow these people and see what happens.
It's more interesting.
like the number of songs he will be able to write of just about like saving the lizard folk.
Mhm.
Like,
Ooh, I know what you can call the song about Lucky. Get Lucky.
No. I refuse.
I feel like Lucky is still a virgin, which would make that just really funny. Like, get Lucky.
I feel like we need to go back and just make sure that's canon.
Well, it's now it's been said. So.
I don't know. You did come close to touching his dick.
I mean, okay, 1, I thought he was a dog. 2,
I hate giving boy dogs belly rubs because of that. By the way, because it's just like across the whole belly. That's all.
well, that's on him if he was getting a little excited.
True.
Oh man, Lucky.
I was
Yeah.
once giving my in-laws dog a belly rub and hadn't been out for the day, and like I was giving a belly rub and it started peeing on me. That was pretty fun. It was a Shiba Inus. It's like a dog that really cares about his cleanliness, and it felt terrible. Like it felt worse than I did. Like
Oh
baby.
man.
Poor pup.
Yeah. But yeah. But and the other thing is like I have like this, I have like this image in my head of each NPC, but like Lucky became like more than what he originally was intended for because of the questions you asked, because of the way you interacted with him. So.
I like doing that with NPCs. I
Mhm.
find it really fun, particularly like because we were walking into a space where each one of us has like contacts. We've been there before.
Mhm.
Like we might know people on the street. Like that was it's a lot of fun to be able to like just interact in a place in which your character has been, but your player has not. So you have a lot of creativity and a lot of like
Yeah.
like a lot of potential for some really cool narrative. I also really appreciate that Ash's like reluctance to trust that fucking dog was warranted. I was so happy because I was like, this is how this works. Like the classic story of like there's a bunny in the forest. Was it magical bunny? Like the player's like, no, it's literally just a goddamn bunny. And like, so I was
Yep.
like, oh no, am I gonna do this thing where this is just a goddamn dog? And I'm so glad that
Yeah.
it wasn't just a dog. So glad.
If you
Oh.
did not mistrust it, it would have taken all your shit while you slept and hauled ass out of it.
Yeah, when you started asking where is your shit, I was
I
like,
know it was so.
where is my
Yeah.
shit? Like,
I know it was like sketchy as fuck for me to ask that.
No, but I mean,
I didn't
like-
want to make the assumption, and then you as a
Yeah.
player go like, "Well, I would have had this, and that's not fair."
right?
You know?
Yeah, no, and I think that it was cool that you asked. And I was glad that I was already so nervous about this dog and like bandits like coming to get this shit, so I didn't like because it didn't feel like I was metagaming. It was like, nah, with this fucking dog following them around, nah. That shit is like on me, like I'm in my armor, like my weapons are chilling on my lap while I
Not to
sleep.
mention, we both insight checked the dog, and we both got bad vibes from the insight check.
I mean, it wasn't even. What's interesting is that it wasn't even bad. It was just like this dog is like more attentive than you would have, assumed.
Yeah.
Well, for me, that was a moment where like I like had to like actively resist metagaming because my
Right.
character would just be ecstatic to come across a dog.
No, and my character is complete opposite. If something, like, literally, as your owl started playing with that dog, my character was like, nah, that's just even worse. That is even worse. The cuter this gets,
Yeah.
the worse this is.
It was so the mental image was so cute though.
I mean, it was for me as a person. But for my character, it was just like,
We didn't lie to the town guards at the gate when we said that the dog was owned by some really wealthy
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
They would have run it
I mean,
back.
it was lying because we didn't actually know that.
And none of us lied actually getting into the city.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
Well, I mean, every single one of us has many characters at this point.
we
Yeah,
didn't
that's
lie.
fine.
We just presented fake documents. I didn't say anything that was a lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like that ploy with like the whole like, oh, there's a dog and like having it be a druid, would work really well for like the new player that's like, oh my god, they want to animal handle every fucking animal they come across. Like as a person who plays D&D specifically to have a pet companion, and that's how you ruin their life. But anyway, so I'm not sure like if that would be like a fun thing to do to a new player, because it's something that a new player would fall in. Like you as like Corey knew like I don't trust it, but Franz was a different story. Whereas I feel like a lot of new players would be like, oh my god, I love it, I want it, both above and below table. But I'm not sure how you guys would feel. Just
I think as long as the flexibility is there, like that, like he could have become, in the right circumstances,
he could have gotten a lot of money.
He could have gotten a lot of money, but also in the right circumstances, like if he hadn't been so fucking stupid, or maybe if Franz was a little less like, now I am like deeply like heart wounded by the fact that this dog is not a dog. Like he could have become he could have become an actual friend.
True.
Because like that's how, I mean, as a player I've like collected NPCs, you know, whether like actual animals or people, and that's like often how you do it, you know, where they've like started out as an enemy and they become a friend.
Well, we know where he lives.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And maybe
And we
we'll
can
need a spider
definitely
at
use
some
him
point.
as this game continues on. Which is the other thing that I love about creating, like, using DM NPCs to, like, enhance the story, not only for that episode, but also in episodes in the future. Like, allowing for that contingency to be still around, you know?
So here's a question that I'm stealing from Lane, because it was one of the questions he asked for us to write for one of our blog posts, and but pretty much he goes, this like one author seems to empower literature with a much more central role in resistance struggles than one merely as passive entertainment. So like thinking about like maybe different narratives and, you know, how we're, you know, incorporating a lot of things or elements beyond just like, all right, hack and slash murder hobo D&D crew. Like, I'm not sure if I'm framing this all right, but like what value can we give like something like this to like real world things? I don't know. I am awful at asking that question, but I just really like Lane's question and I wanted to use it here.
Could you repeat it one more time?
Sure. The author seems to empower literature with a much more central role in resistance struggles than one of merely passive entertainment. What do you make of this? Where do we go from here? So just talking about the role of fiction.
Right.
Like, in the everyday, or like how it makes you think about stuff outside of the fiction, or like what? Like, because it's not passive, then it's active, so it means it's doing something.
I know that with Lane's, he doesn't always call call efficacy, like, it doesn't have to be active change. It could be little things. It could be so much as a small disruption in the everyday life that makes you think about something.
Well, I mean, I guess my answer to that would have, so we're talking to Gertrude,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, you know, she's not going to actively, like, point out magic users, but also she doesn't want them in her home, and I was like, so a German woman who wouldn't have said anything if there were Jews living next door, but also isn't going to help them when they get dragged out on the street.
I was kind of
Right.
thinking that in my head as well, too, like, how her role would have been in some sort of real-world thing.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I think that means, particularly given, like, last Monday or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
with, like, the neo-Nazi on campus.
Oh.
All of that stuff, like, those seemed, you know, like those particular, not even tropes, but like, like, I don't know, that genre? Is it a genre now? Like, definitely has through lines between the life and the fiction, and, like, where are you? Like, we, you know, we're kind of, I mean, are the thieves the resistance? Are they not the resistance? Are they somewhere in the middle? You know, like where do we fall in all of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I like fiction where you do have, like, some bad things happen. You do have flawed people. You do have good, bad people and all that. But, like, making it so... I try and do like, the Avatar approach, where the Fire Nation was, like, quote-unquote, the bad guys, but they still had well-rounded characters in it. You still had... like, I forget which one it was, but I think it was a Jet, was it? It was a dude that was going to flood the entire village, and they were going to, like, murder the Fire Nation dude, but then Sokka makes the guy go away, and saves him, and because of that, the guy was able to save the village from being drowned out, and also, like, vouched for, like, Aang and crew so that they could pass safely. So just kind of the importance of, like, having those kind of flawed but realistic characters, even when they're bad, like part of bad people or bad people themselves. I don't know.
That's a really good point and question. Not sure how to quite respond to it at this second.
I mean, I do think that this was the first game that I've been in where I've seen, like, really well-rounded NPCs. Like, the other ones have been, like... The other ones, like, the captain was interesting. But we didn't really interact with him before we, like, murdered him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like... Or, like, you know, like, when we were smashing all of the, like, pamphlets, like, we didn't... Like, we interacted with that guard, but he wasn't anybody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and this was the first time where we, like, you know, had an NPC with, like, a family.
Yeah, family.
Yeah.
That we, like, interacted with. You know, there was more than just that one time. Like, it, there was, you know, carried on kind of into the session.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated.
I think it always comes down to the player, like how much they want to get invested in the NPCs of their world. I think having fully rounded out player characters means that there's more opportunity for it to have more fully rounded out NPCs. Because if players are just interested in combat, not just necessarily murder hobo, but combat, then the DM more or less is then faced with how they want to reciprocate that.
Yeah.
And I feel like juxtaposing last episodes to this one, I think is a really good point, because we just like steamrolled through all of that. Or that day where we killed that one guy, and it just ultimately was just like, nope, he's not important, he's gone, it's over. I think we have different values of attachment to the NPCs.
You know.
Especially if they're red shirts, like literally red shirts.
Yeah. Well, the red shirts are dangerous in this one, so very dangerous. And luckily, I'm gonna miss Ryan. But I feel like not having Boggs, like, in his, like, plant shape makes navigating this a lot easier, because the hat doesn't always work.
Yep.
So, like, if we had Boggs here, like, how would have this played out differently?
I mean,
don't have a
it
character
definitely
that
would have played out
passes.
differently. So, okay, so I mean, as I've said a couple of times now in this session, even
Mhm.
Ash tends to swing towards what is going to be most beneficial in that moment.
Yep.
Mhm.
And with both Franz and Boggs, that's it. Like, there's no choice. Like, Boggs was like going through a thing.
Yeah.
And, like, he was just, no, they're dead. They're dead people. They're walking around right now, but they're gonna be dead. Like, their future is death, because I said so. And Franz, kind of went along with that, which means that basically also Ash was gonna go along with that. And so I think that it would have turned out a lot differently, because I think that Boggs probably would have pushed Franz to go farther with that kid.
Yeah.
And and Ash would have probably followed closer to that.
Who knows if we would have even gotten in that situation
Right.
to begin with? Because getting through that gate would have been
Right.
that would have been a real challenge, especially if the hat didn't work.
Right.
We might not have actually even gone into the capital this session.
We could have gone a completely different way if we
Yeah.
had Boggs along with us. Like, we probably would have stuck around
Mhm.
the village longer, like,
Mhm.
because his fam
Yeah.
was there and stuff.
And viewers, feel free to ask a question. I see 4 of you there,
Yeah, any and all time.
because we got
I mean, one of
5
them is
minutes
me,
left,
so.
and one of them's me.
So
But
to the
anyway.
And
to the
one
two
of
of
them's
you.
me, and one of them's no.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, so to the lurkers, like, feel free to lurk, but also, like, if you want to ask
Yeah.
questions, please do.
Yeah.
Like, if Boggs is in the audience right now.
So we don't speak for what Boggs would have done
Yeah,
to
what would Boggs have done,
to
Ryan?
Lucky.
Good.
He got lucky.
He got
Oh.
lucky. Indeed, he did.
I want to say that he named himself Lucky before he was a druid. Or realized that, like, he can do that, so maybe he felt some magical energy with him, but, like, he was, like, lucky before he could become a dog.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what bards do,
Yeah.
Like, I feel like bards give themselves those kinds of names.
Yeah.
Seems like the right thing to do.
It's almost as though they were inspired.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, you haven't inspired any of us.
Not yet. I actually
That's true.
I'm not mad.
I play a bard in another campaign who will not inspire out of spite. Like if the moon is not right and the stars are not aligned, she will not inspire you. But if you help her out, she will. And, like, with Song of Rest, she'll purposely move out of earshot for anyone she doesn't want to, like, benefit from her Song of Rest. But yeah.
I just haven't been in super a lot of situations where I felt as the player that it would be useful.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Because you haven't fought the Inquisition yet.
So I haven't fought the Inquisition yet, and literally the only magic any of you have seen him do is with the pan flutes with the lizards that were already magical instruments to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
He has never done magic in front of you otherwise, and that has been very purposeful.
That's true. So you don't even know that he's magical yet.
Franz has no idea.
Because he understands the Inquisition deeply, and so it's just like, nope, like, we're gonna keep as tight a lid on that as is humanly possible.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see, and the other thing is I kept asking, like, you two to explain, like, what other players know, or, like, describing things, like, because, like, these are your characters, this is your home, so, like, I didn't want to, as a DM, like, change the
I appreciate
view of that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's, like, what other, like, maybe there's another situation where stuff like that has happened for you, or maybe in another campaign, or different elements where you describe, like, you as a player did, like, a quote-unquote DM thing by building a part of the world in real time at the table.
I think that is dependent on how invested the DM is in the world that they have either created or are using. Because I know, like, I have had some DMs that are very much like, no, like, all of these cities are well mapped out, we know what they look like, you read up on the material, you as the player, it is your, like, if you are from a place, it is your job to use the materials the DM has given you to know what that place is like. And so when the DM says, no, it's in Midtown, you as the player have to know what Midtown is.
Yep.
And if you as the player did not do a good enough job, then your character does not remember. And then I've had others, who have made their own world, who are just really invested in, like, this is how I'm setting it up. And so you are going through my world as the player, not your story, but my world.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how I feel about, like, pigeonholing certain things, because yes, like, I am very invested in this, like the world that I created, but, like, I mean, to go, like, street by street and to say, like, I wouldn't have come up with a pediatrician's office. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, knock, knock, who's there, secret password, go. Like, in an alleyway.
Right.
But
yeah, I wanted a classy front. Because I was thinking, actually, I was thinking about it on the way here, I'm like, I knew, like, there's going to be a lot of crackdowns. How can a thieves guild survive or even thrive? They need to cloak themselves with a business front, but not like a typical, like, dry cleaners.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to has some air of affluence to it, or discretion.
I love it. It was a cool ploy, and it makes complete sense because, like, Joe is a smart person, like, and, like, I took a little bit of creative liberty by making it like bigger because, like you said, like, as the authority figures rise, so do the Thieves Guild. And I am excited for next week because I laid out a couple of hints that I'm not sure if you'll pick up, but I'm hoping.
Sounds like they're hustling and bustling.
So. But yeah, it is 5:00, so I think it is time for us to pack up, and we shall see you next week.
Next week, thank you all for
Yeah,
tuning in.
thanks for all of y'all.